Greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek, and today we have the immense pleasure of having the lead dev of Big Beautiful Women Giantess Dating Action here with us for a new Snek interview. We have John Rakuen himself here with me.
Hello, tis I, John Rakuen, writer, director, producer, chief investment officer, whatever other title you want to throw on me of RakuenSoft.
Yes,
Pleasure to be here.
yes, we're very happy to have you. It was kind of just like a long series of coincidences. I stumbled upon Big Beautiful Women, I think from your Twitter/X feed. And I was like, well, I'm in love. Uh, as soon as the demo became available, Ditaku and I had a ton of fun playing through it. And so we have lined up some questions for you, and also you forwarded them to some of your teammates as well. So we'll be able to hear some of their opinions as we go as well.
Awesome. Let's begin.
All right, let's do that. So, what started this project, and who did what, how, and why, basically?
So the who started the project, or rather the what started the project, is a really interesting question depending on how you want to look at it. So I've been writing for, I want to say a decade at this point. Most of it has been smut on an account that I will not be sharing here.
Okay,
But
fair.
it's still up somewhere. And it was just like, I want to say 8 or 9 chapters. It's about Hifumi and Naoya, a much smaller Hifumi. The backstories were changed a little bit. They were like living together up in like some rural prefecture north of Tokyo.
All right.
And I thought, oh, this is like a fun setting. This, fun cast of characters. But I don't really think I have anything more I want to do with them. And then I like quit a job after just a string of bad jobs and thought, I have no future in this career path. I need a hard pivot, and I need a hard pivot now.
Right.
So then I spent the entire day in a Starbucks and I wrote like half of Fuko's route in one day.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's just one of those like divine inspiration things. Or you ever read I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream?
Yes, actually, I'm a big fan of that one.
Yeah, didn't the author write that thing in like one day?
So I think I remember reading something about that, and there was a really interesting Let's Play of the PC adventure game that went into some of the details on that as well. So,
Well, yeah, and like the short story is only like what 20 30 pages, so that's like
yeah.
completely plausible. I originally thought like, oh my God, that's insane, and then I actually saw the actual story and went, oh no, that's like perfectly doable.
Right. No, it's like how people always associate the time machine with the movies, but the actual story is like 15 pages.
Oh yeah, yeah. So and then I thought, oh wow, this was really fun to write. I'm just gonna keep going with this and just see, how far I can take this. So then like I think I wrote. Oh, what did I write after? I think I wrote Hifumi's route, then Jun's route, then Maya's route, then Yu's route.
Okay.
Um, and then I started writing all the group scenarios. There were actually supposed to be two more group scenarios, but I cut them. They weren't already written or anything,
Okay.
but I both me and the programmer were just like, I think this is enough. Like the game's already so long that the entire script is like 500,000 words.
Right.
And we kind of ran out of budget. So I'm like, you know what? This would be kind of an expensive thing. It'll kind of like disrupt the flow of the game. So let's just use that for something else.
Right. Like, eventually, you have to ask yourself, like, is it worth it to bother pursuing this option?
Oh yeah, and not only that, but if the more you write, the more you realize nothing is finished. That there's like the public draft, but there's always something you could change,
Right.
especially depending on like how critical you are of your own work.
You would be in good company among Tomo Bros. Let me tell you that.
That's that's good to know. Um, I mean, there's always the possibility of like a director's cut edition, but that would literally just be like I actually don't know what that would be like. Because I am very satisfied with like the finished product as it is.
Okay.
I've tested it for like, dozens of hours on my end. So there's like nothing. I guess if I had the budget, like maybe voice acting, but that's like not. I don't even want to think about like going through the auditioning process and screening process
That'd be a
for
lot.
that.
Yeah.
It would be, and also just I remember I was discussing this with a programmer, and before we even thought about budget, she's like, "Hey, are you sure you want to do voice? Like, would you have any interest in adding voice acting?" And then, as she was discussing that with me on Discord, I'm like going through Twitter, and I'm just seeing a bunch of people like getting mad at a voice actor from like a bunch of different voice actors, just like saying a lot of really dumb stuff on Twitter. I'm like, you know what,
Maybe
nah, I'm
not.
good. I don't.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, unless if the voice actor was like, I don't have a Twitter presence, I'm like, I don't know how that's possible given your, occupation or,
Right.
desired career path. But awesome, please.
No, it makes perfect sense. Actually, the guys that A Whole Lot to Love said something really similar. So like, I get that that is a general trend in the industry.
Yeah, but it was kind of sweet because when the demo first came out, there were a bunch of uh, I don't want to say wannabe. Wannabe has a negative connotation, I guess.
Aspiring,
Aspiring voice actor, aspiring, yeah,
yeah,
that's a much better term. Of aspiring voice actors that say, "Hey, like, do you need voice acting?" And I go, "Oh, we do not have budget." Like we would, I kind of feel bad saying like we would not be able to pay you, but like this is literally just my bank account.
yeah,
And I go, I would love to pay you for your work. In fact, I had the same conversation with some translators. uh, they're saying, "Hey, do you want us to translate this?" I go, it would have to be a internship because I literally do not have money for that. I'm sorry."
right. Like you paying people salaries, like it's all overhead, right? So that would be a lot, and it would mount up really
Yes.
fast.
Yeah. And also like it just I'm not too sure on like what the rules are regarding like payroll tax in my state. I don't know if that kicks in if you have like X amount of employees or if you just pay anybody a salary.
Oh, geez, you're
Uh,
getting into all that. That's illegal. You would then need to hire a lawyer in order to just do all this stuff.
Yeah, and there's also the issue of like I haven't incorporated RakuenSoft. It's really just like a vibes thing right now.
Right.
I don't think it's and I did ask a family member who is practicing law. I just said like, hey, it's just purely hypothetically, let's say if I wanted to get into game dev, should I incorporate? And he just said, let's talk about that after you've actually made the game because this conversation doesn't matter until you actually have a product, right?
Right.
So I
Okay.
figured that, yeah, that makes sense. Um, yeah, as for who else? Oh, who really spearheaded it? I mean, that would have to be me. This is basically like my child. This is like my Hail Mary,
Right.
because I'm sure you've just seen this online or in person. Job market's kind of rough right now.
Oh, yeah,
It
dude.
it's
Yes,
been kind of rough,
absolutely.
especially in my state where nothing is functional.
Amen to that, brother.
This is just like has been a really fun time. I do like game dev. I realize I say this with a dev team of like 4 people, and no shareholders, no like uh, no giant legal or marketing department like mandating, oh, you got to change this or adjust this. Um, yeah, so I'm sure if we ever were to, branch out and become like big and quote air quotes legitimate, that might suck some of the magic out of it.
Right.
But I always wanted to get into game dev even as a kid. But of course, when you're a kid, you don't understand what that really means.
Yeah.
You just think like, oh, you just like put the thing into the computer and it makes the game. And then I took a programming class. I actually started as a computer game science major in college, and then
Okay.
I did one semester of programming and went, LOL, no, this sucks. Well, not only that, my parents like pulled me aside before I started college, going, "You should really switch your major." I go, "Why?" And they go, "You would not like programming." I go, "How do you know that?" And they go, "Have you seen programming majors?" Their words, not mine.
Right.
And I go, "What do you mean by that?" And then I spend a semester in there, and I go, "Oh, okay, I get it."
I
And my pro
understand.
and I asked my programming buddies, I go, "Hey, did I just get unlucky?" And they go, "No, no, my," and they were saying like, so you know how there's like scientist characters that like don't see people as people, they see them as like numbers on a spreadsheet.
Yes.
Yeah, she said that's literally 80% of my coworkers.
Oh dear.
Like they either do not understand or do not care about any potential ethical dilemmas with any science. They're just like, no, yeah, put me in the machine. What's the problem?
Oh dear.
Automate everybody. What's the issue?
I worry for the future if that's the case, but okay.
Yeah, they're like, no, just like if I just make an AI version of me, it's still me. What's the
Let's set the theological implications of that one aside.
Oh, it's so
Oh dear.
funny.
So, speaking of a product, finished product, what is our expected release date? I actually saw you tweeting about this recently. Uh, like, is the game fully finalized, and how much is it going to cost?
Yes, so I have been I've been trying to rein myself in because I don't want to be like a lolcow dev just like freaking out on the timeline going, oh Steam, what the hell? I because I'm sure you've seen or heard of some indie devs
Yeah,
getting rejected from Steam for some would say legitimate reasons. Uh, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I'm just not everything needs a reaction. But
right.
then I thought, what if I can make it funny though? So then I just got that picture of Mr. Krabs and just went like, haha, day 8, here, it's ready. Just be patient. We're sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game has been like done for 2 weeks now.
Okay.
We submitted it for review on April 2nd. So it's entirely in Steam's hands right now. If everything went well, if we had our way, you would have been playing it by now. It would have been
Fair.
out to the public last Friday, but Steam's just steaming it up. Have any other game devs you've talked with discussed the submission process for Steam?
No. So, can you enlighten us about that?
Okay, so it is a nightmare and a half, especially for like a first-time indie dev. So, uh, everyone who wants to submit a game to Steam, whether they are a first-time indie dev or like a multi-billion-dollar corporation, they have to use a system called Steamworks. It is
Okay.
something that is linked to your existing Steam account, or you could like make a new Steam account specifically for Steamworks. Um, so to start that off, you have to pay $100 fee just to make sure, like, hey, we can't just let anybody, put whatever direct they want on the store. I mean, it doesn't stop them, but it's supposed to be a deterrent.
Right.
And then you have to wait a month between paying the initial fee and launching the game.
Okay.
This is not a problem for most people because if you are smart, you will want to make the store page as soon as possible just to like have a presence and also build hype, right?
Right.
So you have to make a bunch of capsule images for like different ways your store will be accessed. So, you have to have the search bar image. You have to have like images within the game, maybe a video, like the certain images for like sales, like the background, the library image, et cetera, et cetera. They are very strict on both the dimensions of it, which is fine. I mean, that's like pretty easy to just
Okay.
make sure everything's okay. But they also need your logo to be of a certain size and in a certain location. Like if the logo is like too off to the side, it will strike it. If it's like too high or too low, it will say, hey, you have to resubmit. And we had to like resubmit the demo store page like 5 times before it was like fine.
You only pay the fee once, right? But then you just
So the fee is like you're not paying it per submission. It's like per game you want, like per store page.
Ah, okay.
So like, you know, if we should be so lucky to make a second game, if I want to have a second store page, I have to pay another $100.
Okay, but you can resubmit as many times as is necessary to meet their guidelines.
Yes. Now, the guidelines themselves are this own increasingly vague and esoteric and inconsistently enforced can of worms. I'm learning. So for the demo, we only had to resubmit that like twice.
Okay.
And that was literally just because my description of the in-game content was not precise enough. Because they're asking like, hey, is this, you know, for adults only? Like what kind of imagery is in the game? And as far as visual novels go, especially like erotic visual novels, it's like pretty tame.
Right.
Like the most you see is like a butt and like maybe a nipple or two. There's like nothing like it's not a Dempa visual novel. You're not going to see like fluids in places or like body parts in positions that they should not exist in.
Right. Starfish
Yeah.
style.
That's one way of putting it. Uh,
I've been on the internet a very long time. I have
yeah, well,
seen
yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah, well, also, if you're just like familiar with the visual novel genre at all, like it can get pretty
Yeah.
esoteric
We're past the 10-minute
for
mark.
lack
It's
of a better
okay for us
term.
to talk about this. YouTube doesn't care anymore.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Um, so I thought, oh, well, the demo has like similar like the demo is just a vertical slice of the game. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just use the exact same description as the demo because it's pretty similar. So this should go pretty easily. We hear back from Steam like last Tuesday going, hey, we weren't able to verify a feature listed on the store page. The store page being multiple endings. And I go, what do you mean you were unable to test multiple endings? Like it's just play the game.
Right.
Obviously, I didn't say that in the response because you know, when dealing with faceless bureaucrats, it's just always nice to be as like yes man and placate as much as possible.
Right.
Unfortunately,
Mm.
so then I go, okay, here's a safe. They also wanted to verify the amount of CGs that we advertised, and they also wanted to know like the severity of the content and also the context behind the content.
All right.
Where I'm like, how I'm like, okay, so you are either unwilling or unable to test for the endings. There's no way you are going to have the time or the interest to verify the context. So already, like, a lot of Steam's, I guess, review process is just, bro, trust me. This is not my recommendation, but like, sometimes lying could be beneficial.
We here at the
Well,
Tomodachi Brothers do not endorse any of the opinions or the guests.
no, so it's extra funny because so you can change the Steam page description and you can change the build as many times as you like after your submission gets approved, and it doesn't have to be re-reviewed.
Interesting.
So are you familiar with the game D at all?
Are you talking about the one on the Sega Dreamcast or?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, I'm with you.
Okay, so do you know the story about like how that game was controversial?
Uh, I heard mixed opinions about the quality of the game as a whole. I didn't know it was controversial. Do tell.
Okay, so because the game is like it like depicts cannibalism
Right.
and like a kid killing spoilers for D, I guess. It's
For an almost
uh,
30-year-old game.
yes. And it features like a child killing her mom, right?
Right.
And you know, because this was 30 years ago, the people at the time were like, "Oh my God, oh that's like so scandalous." Um, like I don't think we can approve this. So the director just sent them a version of the game without that, and it was like toned down. So they approved it, and then he literally like went into the like the facility and like just swapped the copies.
Wow. I did not know
At,
that.
like, yeah,
First off,
as the story goes.
mad props for you even knowing about D. Like, we are clearly kindred spirits, at least a little bit. But that's pretty
Oh,
incredible, actually.
I love old esoteric Japanese games.
I am in good company then.
I mean, I have like I'm in Japan right now. I literally have a copy. I have like a small collection of like weird Japan on PS1 games I'm going to bring back home.
Nice. Very nice.
God bless Suragaya. So I'm thinking like, should I just do that next time? Should I just have like a slightly watered down version or just don't advertise certain features? Because uh, what I'm learning is their review process is automated. So they are trying to have a machine quantify like not easily quantifiable things and
Right.
review not non-quantifiable things. Um, yeah, the programmer made a build that had all the CGs unlocked. We had a bunch of different save data at the different endings, and I told them in the description, "Hey, here's how you access the endings. Here's how
Right.
you access the CGs. I realized some of the CGs are missing. Play through the ending. The endings take 3 minutes long at most, and you can see all the CGs."
Right.
Um, so hopefully that does it. I pray because me and especially the programmer just want this to be done with.
Hopefully soon. So we're gonna say soon trademark. Soon
Uh,
bold.
if everything, if like one thing goes right, if we are just shy of Murphy's Law, it should be out this month.
Okay. So we're gonna
Yeah,
tentatively say April, probably trademark, copyright, all rights reserved.
April 2026, ideally. If there is a modicum of a loving God, it will be out this
You see,
month.
like the fun as an aside, like a lot of YouTubers that I personally follow, like play like the dreck of Steam, and I'm talking like Wicked Wiz and Kaif. And they play like these really, really garbage dumpster fire games, and I'm like, this made it through the process, but they're gonna give static to this visual novel that I loved a whole bunch. It's like, yeah, that just figures.
Well, so it gets even funnier when you're a visual novel that has a remotely anime aesthetic because I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but just censors and content regulators tend to
Yeah.
judge anime style games more harshly than like Western counterparts. Because
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen on the Steam front page, there's just literal mountains of just very poor 3D, shall we say, Western erotic games.
Right. A lot of that style. Yes.
Yes, so I'm thinking like, okay, so it's not the severity of the content that's the issue. So what, like, was my issue just my description was advertising things that like their new testing AI couldn't verify? It's
There's
so
definitely a
frustrating.
bias. I've seen other game devs talk about this, especially. I follow a lot of indie devs on Twitter, and several that have gone for that anime aesthetic have definitely gotten static for things that games that didn't embrace it definitely would not have had to endure.
But
So,
it's double weird. It's even weirder for like H games or eroge on Steam because so I've never seen this before. Are you familiar with Kara no Shoujo?
I've heard the name, but I've never played it.
Okay, so the it's kind of like it is a murder mystery that takes place in 1950s Japan.
Okay.
So a lot of gore, a lot of like like the murderer is like only targeting women, and because this is a visual novel, killing them in increasingly esoteric ways.
All right.
I use the word esoteric a lot when describing visual novels, but some of those things do get esoteric.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm playing it and I'm like, oh, this is like not censored at all. Sweet. Okay. Because, when I hear like, oh, do not buy visual novels on Steam, buy them off like Manga Gamer or, JAS, whatever website, because the Steam version always censored. I'm like, if this is the censored version, I'm terrified of what the Well, like the uncensored version is. Um, and as it turns out, they were not talking about the copy of Kara no Shoujo I was playing. They were talking about uh, Kara no Shoujo, but from a different publishing house that
Really?
also published it on Steam with a different name. Like this is not a port. This is not a different version. It's the same game, just called The Shell Part One, and it just has certain CGs cut out, but it's like the exact same game from two different publishers coexisting at the same time. I've never
That's
seen it like this.
that's bizarre. Okay.
It's so weird. So I'm thinking, okay, so clearly, unless if you're like Subi Hobby or like, maybe Shizuku, like I could see that causing problems on Steam, but it seems it's just wildly inconsistent with what's allowed.
That's I'll have to research more into this. You have opened an interesting can of worms for me in the future.
Oh, nice. Happy to hear that. The internal benchmark slash meme that me and the dev team keep saying is, if Sex with Hitler 3D can make it onto Steam, why can't our game?
That's fair. 100% fair.
I always joke that if I was Gabe Newell, I would just have a printed out copy of the store page art of Sex with Hitler 3D, put it in the tester's office, and go, if it is better than this, just let it through.
Just let it slide. Don't even fight
Yeah,
it.
just and if it's as bad as this, come talk to me.
Yeah. Then we have something to discuss, right? That's
Yeah.
very
Um,
interesting. And I knew it had to be harder for indies than for big companies. Like
well,
basically
yeah,
just
because we don't have like cloud, we don't have, a legal department.
right.
Because, if you're a big company, Steam will just overlook something because they're like, okay, so we could cause a problem, or we can just, have this game sell well and take 30% of profit,
Right.
right? Because, they want to make money. That's just an easy way, right?
Of course. Yeah.
You also have to submit out, you have to fill out a content survey.
Okay.
Now, some of the classes I took in high school were law classes. I'm a poli-sci major with like a legal focus. So I kind of just like reading. Whenever I read a text like this, I'm like, okay, so what is the exact definition here? Because this is
Right.
vague.
Right.
So so they ask you questions of like, what violence is featured, and you can't just describe it. You have to pick from a list. So it's like, oh, cartoon violence or like violence depicting like beheadings or like self-harm, yada yada yada.
Right.
And then they say, does this involve the use of drugs? And I go, okay, do you mean alcohol? Because like the characters do use alcohol in this game, but
Right.
depending on the country, using alcohol is fine. And like depicting alcohol in a game is fine, but depicting anything else will like get you like banned.
Right.
So then I go, should I like if I could just specify drugs or just say like, hey, it's alcohol, nothing else. And then Steam added this, I forget how many years ago, but it was asking about like political content or like stuff that relates to real world groups. And I'm like, no, no, there's no, it's I'm not making one of those. like,
Right.
like
No.
no, you do not. It is not a hate crime simulator. Don't worry, Steam. I promise.
Still not Sex with
Well,
Hitler 3D.
yes. So yeah, we have no intention of making a spin-off or a spiritual successor to any of the Sex with Hitler or Sex with Stalin games.
Right.
Uh, yeah. So I filled out the content survey, and immediately it says game banned in Germany, and I go, oh, okay. I guess I'll have to launch this on itch.io as well because the German government does not like fun, I guess.
No, it very much seems like they don't.
You know what's even funnier? So Germany is the only country the game is banned in.
It's like why? What was it that tipped it over the scales? Do we know?
It's probably the nipple. That's probably like the only reason.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So for context, game's not banned in China. Game's not banned in any Arab states. Game's not banned in Australia.
That's
In fact,
that's just really interesting to me, actually. This
yeah, Germany's just like that. Um, It's even funnier because I can see using Steamworks DevTools who downloaded the demo, or
Right.
rather, like their location. Uh, Last I checked, there are three people in Iran who played the demo.
Okay. All right.
So I guess Iran has greater freedom of expression than Germany.
That's. I'm gonna just leave that in the air so that people at home can make of that information what they will.
Right? I'm if feel free to cut out that stat if you
No,
want.
I don't care. Doesn't faze me in the
Okay,
slightest. I
just
have
making
said
sure
far
'cause
more controversial things on this channel, and like not even being political. I just have. So, what is when the store page goes live, when it actually is fully available? What is the price point?
1999 USD.
All right.
It's going to shift around some regions just because like Steam, when you enter in a price, Steam will just automatically convert it
Okay.
across like several different currencies. In fact, it also has Middle East, North Africa, and Central America USD regions
Oh, okay.
as well. Uh, I did ask because the game, I think like so you can so you can check like who like the region and the countries of the people who wish listed the game.
Right.
The top five countries are United States, and then it's a rotating door of like China, Japan, Russia, and then it's a toss up between like Mexico and Brazil.
Interesting.
Uh, yeah, so I had some Russian fans reach out to me and go, "Hey, what's the price that you're gonna have in rubles?" I go, "Oh, Steam recommends this," and they go, that's like that's like 2 to 3 weeks worth of salary."
Really?
I go,
Okay.
"Oh, understood. What's like the norm for like a game of this size and this scope?" They go, "Oh, this." I go, "Okay, sure. I'll just take you at your word. Here you go."
All right. That's really interesting. Like you don't necessarily think about the international market until you're already thrust into the middle of it.
Yeah, well, I will say I do have a benefit. I do benefit from this because like the dev team is like a English speaking dev team.
Right.
And English is the, most spoken language and like most widely spoken language on the planet.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for like Japanese dev teams because while like you can absolutely be profitable just in the Japanese market, in fact, like a lot of Japanese stuff is like just focused on that. Like they don't care about like expanding at all.
Right.
Um, but also English is just for a lot of languages an easier thing to translate from.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And also apparently like GTS is just one of like the bigger fetishes in Russia, which helps, I guess.
Okay. I
Uh,
mean, I have seen art depicting the Great Wintry North as a giant woman, so like maybe that makes perfect sense. Okay.
I mean, there is a statue. I forget the name. I think it's called like Heart of the Mother. It's some like stereotypical sounding Russian name, but it is just a giant woman statue made in like the 30s or the 40s. So
I'm okay with
it,
this.
they got a history with it. But to add like another interesting wrinkle, so there's a guy translating it into Russian, like doing a fan translation,
Okay.
and he goes, "Hey, what's the Kazakhstan?" The abbreviation for the Kazakhstan currency is the KZT. He
Okay.
goes, "Hey, what's the KZT price going to be for this?" I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, what's it going to be in Kazakhstan dollars?" I go, "Are you from Kazakhstan?" He goes, "No, but due to sanctions, uh, everyone in Russia who wants to buy games legit on Steam has to use Kazakhstan currency." So I go, "Oh, well, that's good to know." So I also had to like convert it and like, change it according to Kazakhstan dollars.
That is really interesting. I'll tell you a random factoid now that we've touched on this. I have apparently a small following from Russia on my YouTube
What?
analytics. And this April Fools is like my big video. I don't know if you've seen them. I got hit with a very specific copyright strike because I used the opening chords to Yes's Roundabout for a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure joke. And it specifically told me it was banned in Russia and Belarus, but nowhere else.
Interesting. Huh.
I have no idea why. Just
God, international copyright's so freaking stupid.
yeah, no, definitely.
The, the only other thankfully, we haven't had any copyright strikes because we made all of well, I paid an artist to
Right.
compose music, so we shouldn't have any issues with that. You know, fingers crossed. Don't want to tempt the fates or
Right.
anything because anybody can abuse YouTube's copyright system. So originally, when I was looking at just how much the game costs to make and just like how big it is, I thought like, could I charge 30 for this? I'm like, ah. But then I thought, no, it's my first indie game. People don't know how big it is. It's a visual novel. It's niche. 30 bucks for what a lot of people would rightfully view as a fetish visual novel might be a bit much. So I
Right.
thought like, whatever. I'll just charge it 20.
No, that seems very fair. I'd pay the 30,
Awesome.
but I already love the game, so you know where my opinions on this lie.
Thank you.
So
Well, I mean, itch.io does have a function where people can pay extra. So,
that's true. That is true.
if any of my German fans in German jail want to,
You have
toss a
options.
couple extra euros our way, that's more than appreciated.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's touch on the team a little bit. So I kind of mused during my playthrough that there is definitely some PC 98 inspiration. Was that the intended art style? Did things change midstream? And did the prototype version of the characters, like, how did they become their modern incarnations?
So the prototype versions of the characters are basically one to one with what we got.
So they didn't change a
The only
whole
thing
lot.
that yeah, there's like nothing that really changed. The biggest thing that changed was their heights.
Okay.
When I was writing the story, just that little feral monkey part of my brain was like, what if number were bigger? And then I changed the height, and then monkey brain went, but what if bigger? So that's how we got the heights now. Because
Based.
in the original story, Maya was only like 25 meters tall.
Okay.
And then Monkey Brain was just like, haha, more. And then I thought, okay, sure, why not?
You know, sometimes that part, the monkey part of the brain, is 100% correct.
Yeah. I mean, especially with like games like this, right? You're you're
Yeah.
you're catering to an audience. You're catering to a certain taste. Wear it as a badge of honor. Don't skirt around it. Own it.
Don't half bake it. Embrace it.
Absolutely no. If because I was following. No, it wasn't following, but there was someone who found a another Giantess dating sim on the Switch of all places.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, and then they go, well, it's like $3. Should I? I don't know, man. $3 seems because you ever just look at a store page and you're like, no, this is gonna be trash.
Yes, yes, I have.
So the artist I followed played it and he goes, yeah, that was just 10 minutes. It was literally just a scenario where like the heroine like gets an item and just grows tall and like it then just ends. And I'm like, oh, that's why is that even on the Steam
It's like,
page?
why? That made the approval process, but this isn't? Like, what? There is no justice in this universe.
I am so I hope we get popular enough where we can have a console release. I mean, if Seiko can get a console release, I think we should be fine. And
Right.
also, if all of the AI sexy mahjong games can make it to Switch, I think
Yeah,
I
it's a
think they should be able to make it to Switch.
fair comparison. Yes. Seiko's like
Yes.
way darker. Like, I played the demo for that one too, and was just kind of like, this one isn't for me. But it actually did mad numbers, and I'm like, I see what you degens are watching. I know what you're
I,
into.
I also played the Seiko demo and got very disappointed. Not from the quality, like clearly the quality and like the love and care went into it, but I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
like, this is not
definitely.
that is not a judgment on the skill or the creativity of the devs. Just my game and their game exist on two opposite ends of the same spectrum.
Right. Exactly.
And like I have a Discord buddy who is also into giant ladies. We firmly exist on my side of the spectrum where we're like giant ladies should be nice and friendly and
Yeah.
wholesome.
Gentle GTS. I get it.
And it seems like most giantess stuff is like just gore, furries, and feet.
And like it's crushing. It's like crushing and stomping.
Yeah,
There was one
and
that
like
actually looked like kind of funny, but like the whole thing is like she was just like a giantess like smashing a city. Like it was basically like a kaiju game, but it was just a giant lady instead of a kaiju. And I'm like, okay, I get on some fundamental level, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't really dig it. I'd actually rather be the kaiju, honestly.
oh yeah, well I mean I think that game's just called Giantess Simulator.
I think so.
The way I view that is like, oh, this is just Goat Simulator, but just giant lady. Like it's not like it's not supposed to be like scary. It's just like, oh
Yeah,
haha,
it,
like
it's
physics will burr.
it's very very slapsticky. Yes.
Yeah. Which like I feel like slaps like with certain fetishes, I feel like the slapstick adds to it just from like a comedic perspective.
Right.
Because like there's some fetishes that are just Looney Tune shit, and you're like, okay, you have to acknowledge this is silly, and that's
Yes.
fine, but just like it
But
should
like
be a little silly.
kind of own it and be able to laugh at yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, well, when I was writing the story and the scenario, I was like, it just the premise you already have to like suspend your disbelief a lot because the second you think of like, oh well, caloric needs, how
Square
much heat they
cube
give off,
law.
bone structure, right? Just like it doesn't exist, like it physically can't exist. So I'm just like, yeah,
Right.
let's just hand wave it with like whatever the cause was. Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
Um, and like I kind of just got fed up with just how like an overwhelming majority of Giantess content was just like the violent, like just crushing stuff. I'm like, no, I'm gonna make something that's I want to make something nice and cozy.
Yeah. Dude, I 100% get it. I'm right there on the same train with you on this.
So and in doing so, I feel like we managed to carve out a nice little niche for ourselves. Where we're like, hey, this we want to make the definitive like happy giant game.
I like that.
Like if you want to play the the death gore furry vor feet games, you got those. If you want a story, you can go Psycho for the blood and gore, or you can play my game for happy wholesome moments.
I like that. I like that. Not only does it give them the options, it shows that there can be more to the subgenre at the same time.
Yes. And to piggyback off Seiko a little bit, it is when I first saw that game get announced, I'm like, God damn it, no, I was supposed to be the first like real giantess dating sim.
Very different kind
Um,
of game, though.
oh yeah, yeah, and I heard from people who played the entire thing. Like the entire thing's only like what 3-4 hours.
I only played the demo. I have not played the full game, and the demo took
Okay,
me, I want to say, like 45 minutes.
okay. Uh, yeah, so some VTuber friends and like giant friends were like, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 hours. It was fine.
Okay,
And then I was hearing like just fan feedback and just going like, hey, so for like market research, I go, hey, so how does this compare to like other giant games? And like all of them compared to Seiko favorably.
right.
Um, and I said, oh, really? Why? They go, well, the demo has more content than Seiko.
Oh, okay,
Right? And like not the Seiko demo, like the Seiko entire game.
okay.
And some of them were surprised, like, yeah, the demo just kept going. Like I thought you accidentally just upload. Like, I thought you accidentally pulled a Yakuza 6 and just
Put the
uploaded the
entire
entire.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. It was a
And
very long
thankfully,
demo, but I loved that about it. I think that gave everyone a chance to like meet the characters and get to know them.
yeah, because visual novels are kind of in a weird spot in terms of demos because you have to establish the premise, you have to give the characters time to breathe. But obviously, you can't give away too much.
Right.
And I felt like that was just a very good natural ending point because it's like, oh hey, here's this big group event. We're heading to the WrestleMania sign. Ooh, it's gonna be cool. and then it like cuts off like right before you get there. So
Right.
I've I'm very, very proud with the demo. Literally the only mishap we had with the demo was we forgot to erase the save data.
Yes, I actually blundered into this, and it was something I actually meant to bring up. I changed computers between the first and second video going live. So that second video was actually me playing off of the test file save. I did not play the demo properly, and I have to start all over now.
Uh, don't worry about it.
I'm not that upset,
So
I'll be honest, because like, oh no, I
okay.
had to play this amazing game from the beginning again. How terrible for me.
Well, I do remember some getting a lot of feedback going like, "Hey, are these like Easter eggs, or did you like mess up?" We go, "Yeah, we messed up. We forgot."
Hey, you're honest.
um, yeah. I, I mean, if the demo's going to be scuffed in one way, that's a pretty harmless way for it to be scuffed.
Actually, what's really
Uh,
funny about that is because the demo save file gives you like crazy high charisma versus every other stat, and it actually unlocked a CG I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So, shrug.
uh, so I guess I'll give a little. Do you care about like gameplay hints?
No, by all means.
Okay, if anybody is listening to this, that we would recommend focusing on charisma early game if you're going for certain endings.
Okay.
That unique CG is a flag for a certain ending,
Oh, all right then.
and that's all we'll say.
Fair enough. Uh,
Yeah.
it was very amusing for me just because, I'm a straight man. Uh, so, uh, let's backtrack for just a second. We had the
For sure.
PC-98 inspiration,
Oh,
and I guess my one gripe, I think my only gripe in the entirety of the demo is I can't read the HUD. Is there going to be an English version of the HUD for like day and like for the day timer events?
so I do recall you bringing this up. Unfortunately, with the way the HUD is like spaced and designed, we just don't really have like it's not a matter of budget because it costs like $5. It's more so the programmer is like, I am not programming anything for you or for me for like a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's like, because like she has a full-time actual programming job and she's taking
Ah,
care of like her like 80-year-old parents.
right.
So I'm
Okay.
like, girl, like fine. Yes, absolutely. No, you 100%.
Okay.
And yeah, and she was like kind of crunching herself a little bit towards the end there.
Right.
Because she should be leaving on a plane to Japan in like a couple hours.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Uh, yeah, she was like, "Oh, once I get on that airplane, I am not doing anything, so I'm making sure it is done."
All right then.
But
Fair
so
enough.
for like the day and like month thing, um, the reason why we're not going to have a different language HUD for that is because there's like you don't have to plan dates.
Okay.
Like you will not be punished. Like at no point will a girl say, "Oh, hey, meet me at this day on in like this month," or else you'll like get a bad ending, or I'll like you cry and make you feel bad. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
If there was like actual calendar planning, yes, we would change that, of course. But it's really just like, oh, hey, it's autumn. Oh, it's April. Oh, it's May.
All right.
It's mostly just aesthetic stuff.
Okay, that's fair. That is
Yeah.
100% fair, and part of that was me just not understanding the flow of the game when I first started, so maybe that's just on me.
Oh yeah, from your feedback and from other players' feedback, the program and I were like, oh yeah, we did not. At no point did we explain to them that Saturday and Sunday function differently,
Right.
or that one day is Saturday and one day is Sunday. We have updated like Nalia's dialogue to say, oh, what should I do for the week? What should I do this Saturday? So there should be less
Okay.
confusion there.
Good, good, good. So I'm really used to Monster
Um,
Rancher, and I don't know if you're familiar, but like you plan weeks at a time, and so like every week is a turn. So like I wasn't
yes.
sure, like between the date HUD and how the animations were playing out, I wasn't sure if I was like planning weeks at a time. I didn't know if I was planning days at a time, and I was like, I don't want to screw up. I literally just started.
Oh yeah. Um, Yeah, don't worry. That's been fixed. And also Like if you're just going for a single girl's ending, you can't really soft lock yourself.
Okay.
Like the single girl endings are like pretty easy to get as long as you're just like paying attention.
Okay, that's fair.
But once you get into like the special endings, that's when things can get a little dicey.
A little more hairy. All right, fair.
I am very much looking forward to uh like how many attempts it gets people to get certain endings. If there's like any community efforts going like, okay, how did you get this? How can we replicate
That'll
this?
be interesting. I look forward to that.
Oh yeah. Um, oh yeah. So to finally get back to the original question regarding the PC 98 art style.
Okay.
um, so I knew from the get-go that I'm like, okay, I want some pixel art style because I'm just in love with the PC 98 aesthetic. I'm one of those old heads that believes video games were better when we were limited by technology and
Uh,
resources.
I feel that.
Yes, because not only does it, keep your budget under control, you also come up with really cool stuff in the meantime.
Right.
Uh, and it's kind of sad seeing the visual novel industry kind of veer away from that because yes, I know that the pixel art was because they literally could not scan in photos or like illustrations.
Right.
You ever watch an anime called 16-bit Sensation?
No.
Okay, if you have any love or interest for the PC 98, I would highly recommend that. Uh, the pacing of the show is a bit weird in the second half, but the first half is just about a girl time traveling and like helping make PC 98 games as they're coming out.
Okay.
And the side characters like go over the production process. They go, yeah, we had to fill these in one pixel at a time. We had to get like thin paper, tape it onto the screen, and just like copy the illustration with a mouse.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's absolute legends. And then once, PCs got advanced enough where they're like, yeah, we can actually put JPEGs in our games now. All the devs were like, well, this is just easier than what we want to do from the get-go, so here's JPEGs.
Right.
And I was considering JPEGs. Well, I say JPEGs, I mean PNGs, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, but then I thought, well, that's more of like a, early mid 2000s thing, right?
Right.
And that does have a style of its own. But then I thought, a lot of people, myself included, don't really associate 2000s visual novels with like dating sims. Even though there are like examples of that, people tend to associate like romance and dating sims with PC 98 aesthetic.
And that's true. That is true.
Yeah, because when I think of the aughts visual novels, obviously you have Clannad, Keeb. Those are more so like turn of the century. But I think more so like action
Right.
and more so also Dempa, murder mystery, stuff like that.
Right.
Um, but there's also a lot of visual novels on Steam that do use illustrations and do use PNGs. And there weren't really any games that use the PC 98 art style. And I thought, well, okay, so I can also carve out a niche here as well. Not just in the content matter, but also just in the presentation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
All right, let's course correct because if people are still watching an hour and a
Absolutely.
half in, they're obviously having fun. So let's focus
Yeah.
on the matter at hand. Actually, speaking of like names and pronunciation, is it Jun or is it June?
June.
June. Okay, so we were saying it
Yes.
wrong, so that's on us.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we had to kind of parse from context, but that's good to know. Um, so let's touch on the music real quick. During my playthrough, I kind of compared it to like Mega Man Battle Network and a little bit of like maybe Castlevania, but like what shaped the soundtrack?
So the soundtrack for it really the PC 98, whether it's the
Okay,
visuals, whether it's the gameplay, whether it's the music, everything from the PC 98 inspired just the entirety of the art direction for BBW. If I had to, so when I write or just when I'm working, I just like PC 98 playlists on YouTube. There's more and more of them every day just because there's a lot of just hidden gems on the PC 98.
right,
It's just such a beautiful, interesting sound font. and the artist that in particular inspired the soundtrack was Ryu Umemoto. He just generational talent, composed a bunch of stuff for some anime in the 90s, mainly composed PC-98 games. He died of like bronchitis in like 2007, I think,
Oof.
unfortunately. But just like died way too soon, just composed the absolute banger of a soundtrack. Just he drew a lot of inspiration of like in his music from like Zen Buddhism and just like classical works too. Just like very interesting composition style. Um, so I just really wanted to like have something as close to that as possible. We didn't end up going with the same sound font, just because I think the composer said like, oh, like I'm not like familiar enough with that. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I get that.
Right.
Um, so maybe next time. But with the soundtrack we have, I'm very, very satisfied. Composer absolutely knocked out of the park.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree.
Heck yeah. Do you have a favorite track?
Not off the cuff, but I do remember. I forget the name. I don't know the names of the tracks, but like when you first meet Fuko in the prologue bits, there's this really peppy theme that plays for her, and like it made me think of the town, like the overworld themes from Mega Man Battle Network, and anything that
Aw,
like makes me think like compare like Capcom has like a legendary sound team, so I think anything that makes me think of Capcom generally means that you're doing the right job with it
this is correct. Yeah, Capcom music, generally,
most of the time.
pretty good. Yeah, unless if your name is Street Fighter 6. Uh, yeah, that theme you're talking about is actually just Fuko's theme. Like
Okay.
yeah,
So yeah, Fuko.
correct.
I liked her theme. That was kind of a standout for me. I think. Um, I think the other one I really liked was I was in the I don't know, quote unquote date with my when she makes spaghetti and wine for Naoya.
Oh yeah.
I remember really liking the track for that one too.
Aw. Yeah, I think the exact way I described Fuko's theme was I want like I think the working title was just theme of shitpost.
Okay.
And I just sent the composer a bunch of samples of just like I want the sound I want to sound like you are unemployed at a beach. Like do you know that Naruto song that just sounds like unemployment?
I think I know the one you're talking about. Funny
With
enough,
the
it
dun
just
dun 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 dun
right.
dun 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 dun. Yeah, the filler song.
Yeah, that one. That one
Yeah,
always like it's a weird association. Maybe this is just me, but it always reminds me of the song Tequila.
yeah. No, I completely get what you mean.
Okay, not just me then. Okay, you already kind of answered my next question, but I guess we can go a little bit more into it if you have any gameplay tips. Like, is it possible to get luck sacked out of an ending due to RNG?
Uh, so in fringe cases, it could be if you're like super unlucky and you're not playing optimally. Like, let's just say you go, oh shoot, I need this thing. And I was just kind of like meandering about for like 3 or 4 months because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right,
Uh, so if you for some reason decide to shift your route halfway through the game, which I'm not sure why you would do that,
right.
and also if you just fail every single check, maybe, but you have to get like comedically unlucky, and even if you fail a check, you still get the points. Like you get a point. It's something.
Okay, so it's
Uh,
not like
dep-
you lose anything for failing a check.
uh, in most cases, I think you only just flat out don't get points for failing if you're like under 30 stamina.
Okay, all right, that's
Because
fair.
you do have different success. So there's failures, which is like, the failure.
Yeah,
There's the success, and there's the super success where you get more points.
all right,
And your success and super success rate go up depending on, how high your stamina is. And your failure rate goes down, the higher stamina is. And the inverse is true for the lower your stamina is.
okay, that checks
Um,
out.
yeah, but for all the single girl endings, it's pretty lax. The only times where things kind of get dicey is if you're going for unique endings because you have to like you have to really know your stuff. You have to go, okay, so these girls are available on these days. These girls are available on these days. I have to like hang out with her here, but not here. I have to min-max this stat before min-maxing this stat, but then I have to jump back over to this stat. But that's for like playthrough number like 5 or 6.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. So the stats are generally kind of like if you're going for one particular girl, then the stats are relaxed enough where you have room for error.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, originally the stat cap was 200. We had to since buff that to 400 because like halfway by the end of like the second year, just all the stats were capped.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
so we had to iron that out a little bit in testing, but I feel like it's perfectly balanced now.
All right, that sounds good. So, what does it mean to be a big, beautiful woman in this game, in this world?
Good question. So I believe I go over this in like a school segment, but in the legal proceedings of the world, a woman has to be at least 6 meters tall to be considered a giant legally.
Okay,
Now, for my personal taste, too big isn't really a thing. Logistics be damned. It's
based.
already a fantastical setting. I'm not worried about logic or logistics.
No, I mean that's perfectly fair, understandable.
Yeah. I just again it's the monkey part of the brain going, what if number were bigger?
No, that
It's
I get it. You can't
yeah.
see it, but I'm nodding very sagaciously
Oh
here.
yeah.
Uh,
Based.
so, like culturally speaking, like in the context of this world, like was it like a shock? Was it scary when there were suddenly huge women running around, or like how did the world like adapt to that when that event happened originally?
Yes. So I never explicitly like go into a lot of detail, but like Foucault's and Yu's routes discuss this a little bit. There's some lore in like June's route, but it depended drastically on the country.
Okay,
So some countries were able to like scrap together infrastructure and be like, okay, we don't understand this, but like like there's a scientific angle to this. This is not like a sign of the end times.
right.
Like, yeah, this is weird, but we can work with this. Others are like, this is going to cause problems if you continue, you gotta go. And for other giant, like for most women in the setting who turn giant, it's like not great because if you couldn't fit into your house, that would just cause some
Yeah,
problems.
of course.
If you suddenly had to eat millions of calories a day, that might cause some logistical problems.
Right.
Uh, if you accidentally like crush some things, that would cause some problems. But if you're like Hifumi and you're just a genetic freak, she's like, oh hell yeah, this is awesome.
That's
And that's
making
part of the
lemonade out of
reason.
lemons, right?
Yes, and that's part of the reason why I included Hifumi and June in the roster because A, I love them, but B, I want to have like a spectrum of like how the girls felt about their growth. Because on
Right.
one end you have Maya and Yu who are like, this sucks. In the middle you have Fuko who's like, whatever. I still get to play video games, who cares? And then on the other end, Hifumi and June are like, I need more.
Yeah, Fuko strikes me as the type who's just like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, just like, like, giant PCs exist. Oh, okay.
I can work with this. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Because, like, funny enough, like the thing that it made me think of, I don't know if you're familiar. There's a tabletop game called Shadowrun, and in the Shadowrun lore, magic comes and goes out of the world in a rotation of I think every 10 or 20,000 years. And 2012 happened to be when magic came back into the world. So like all of a sudden you had people, but then you had like humans who had babies who were elves, dwarves, and orcs. And like
Interesting.
so like there was
Okay.
a huge like riot about all this stuff happening when it first started happening. And that's kind of like that was like kind of the mental image I had where it's like if you were in a place like probably like in the United States, for example, they're probably like, okay, well, we have like barns and silos and stuff we can put you in until we get like a real house built. But then you have countries where like they have way less resources and way less room, and suddenly they're going to be panicking, like, oh gosh, what's happening?
Yes. Um, Yeah, and well, part of the reason why I think I do explain this in like later on in the first GiantCon event, but the U.S. and Japan particularly are a lot more giant friendly than a lot of other countries,
Right.
especially Japan, just because they're like, oh hell yeah, this is just tokusatsu or kaiju, just like culturally they, they've seen it, they get
Checks
it.
out.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, what other? We talked about this a little bit, but if we missed any, this is our time to review it. Like, what other giantess-inspired, BBW-inspired works helped create this world and characters?
Uh, so this is really funny. Actually, like nothing.
You just really liked it, and
So
you just decided to embrace it, basically.
it's more so it's more so, hey, I don't like how every giantess thing is vor, furries, crush, or like gore.
Right.
So there just isn't really a lot of stuff to go off of. Like I want to say halfway through development, the manga Chiri no Koiwa 8 meters came out.
Right. I actually
So it's like,
that actually has come out in English. I have the first two volumes.
yeah, it's really cute. I love Cherry.
Yes.
So like, but I can't really say it influenced it because by the time it came out, I was like everything was already set up.
Right.
Um, I guess. Have you heard of Giant Ojo-sama?
Yes. I saw that.
I
Saw a
guess.
discussion about that on Twitter. Yes.
Yeah. I guess the protagonist kind of inspired Hifumi's design a little bit, just because blonde, but like that's like all the similarities.
Okay, that's fair. There's also uh, shoot, I can't remember her name. Someone grows when praised. It's supposed to be Hajishaku-sama, who like lost all her
Oh,
powers.
yeah. I forget I don't know the exact name, but I did see that going around on Twitter.
Yeah. Uh, like that there does seem to be kind of a boom. Like there's kind of suddenly this gold rush mentality for there's a demand for the gentle GTS route, and I
Yes.
think BBW is positioned quite nicely to embrace that wholeheartedly. I think.
Yes, I will definitely say it's coming out at a good time, just because there's a lot more stuff. I mean, there's even like a Giantess Gotcha out right now. I think it's called Haze Reverb.
Okay, I might need to
Um,
investigate this.
yeah. I don't know if the game's any good, but I just know that's like the big selling point.
I will
Um,
investigate and report back, provided it's
hell yeah.
available in English. And even then, I have not let such things stop me because I play Line Monster Farm in complete Japanese and still
I
do
think
reasonably well.
it has an English Twitter page, so it should be in
Okay,
English.
all right, fair
Yeah.
enough. So I have a very important scientific question. This is
Yes.
probably the most important question of all the questions I'm going to ask. Do giantess bra sizes scale in relation to their height? So, like, do bras have three measurements now instead of just two?
Uh, so no. Because
Okay,
well, so Well, because like bras only have like two measurements, right? There's the band size and there's the cup size, right?
right.
Uh, there's just really big band sizes now.
Okay, but like
But
that's
like
like the cup
proportionally,
sizes. Like, do the cup sizes like vary? Is that like a proportional thing? Like,
I mean that would be
how
like
are we
more
doing this?
proportional, right? I mean, I'm kind of ignorant on the subject, which is weird considering my interests. Uh,
So, like, here's a little
uh,
background on me. I actually used to work on a women's magazine.
really? Okay. Huh.
Yes, I know. Like, you're like, why? Like, I did. I worked on a plus size women's magazine. It doesn't exist anymore. Don't bother looking it up. It's not out there
Crap
anymore.
based.
Yeah, it's gone, and the head editor vanished, and I don't know why. Uh,
Damn.
but I was, and I actually knew the fashion editor. She lived in a city near to me, and she actually explained like, "Oh, this is how you measure, and like this is how you would properly like size someone for a bra." And
Yeah.
like, funny enough, I've actually taught some women I've dated like how to properly get sized for a bra because they didn't know.
Holy crap based.
Like, it's like I did this game not too long ago called Under Her Shadow, and it's a slightly more quote unquote realistic take on giantess, and like the whole thing is this mystery intrigue where like she thinks her father's up to something shady, the father thinks the daughter's up to something shady, and you're like a psych major, and he basically hires you on to be like her on-site psychologist basically.
Interesting.
And so like there's a bit where you actually like before you even meet her face to face, you find her bra in the laundry, and it's like comedically gigantic. And I was like, actually, there's a scientific explanation for this. And
Yeah.
Ditaku's like, oh, no, of course you know this. Of course you would know what macromastasia is. And I'm like, it's like if she's a giant in all capacities, and she is, it's like hypertrophy of the breast is not the weirdest thing that could possibly come out of all this. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, so if anyone, I've, how do I say this? I'm sure some people have had the question, hey, why are all your characters so stacked? Is there a lore reason? And I would say, no, that's just what I like.
Based.
They're giant because of lore reasons, but in all my games, I plan to have girls with absolutely giant knockers, just because that's what I like. That's what's good.
Understandable. All right, so like here's my perspective on it is like first off, women built like that exist. I actually dated for several years a woman built pretty much exactly like Maya, and God, I miss her.
God damn it.
uh, yeah, that was on me. It is my fault. I'll own that. And so, like, first off, it exists. It's out there. Like, it does exist. It's like it was like, oh, my realism. It's not. It's not a question of
Oh,
realism.
my,
The human
my my
body is.
Instagram page. Yeah, no, I
The human body is capable of amazing things, and like just because certain things happen to fall within statistical averages does not mean that there are deviations, that there aren't deviations from the averages, because they exist, believe
correct.
me. uh, that being said, uh, like here's the thing, I'm into plus size girls, not just tall but also like wide, which is why I immediately saw Maya and Fuko, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be really torn on which one of these two I ultimately put a ring on. uh,
Nice.
and so like I kind of made a comment in my first video, it's like this is a game that really celebrates the female midriff, and I am 100% on board with that.
Or I I mean, like, someone's got to still have horny game designs.
There is like
It's
there is
not.
a big push, especially in the English speaking world, where we're supposed to poo poo any kind of like romantic or sexual attraction. And first off, that's not realistic. And second off, like
That's
shooing
actively
it to,
harmful.
yeah, it's like people like 99% of people have some kind of drive pushing them towards some level of attraction in one way or another. That's just how we're built.
Yeah,
And I think
nothing wrong with that.
it's foolish and ultimately detrimental to deny and try to stifle and censor. And again, like I said, I am 100% against any form of censorship. I don't believe artists should ever be forced to change their work, provided certain levels of legality. You know what I mean. Let's just
Well,
say
yeah,
that
yeah. If you're doxing somebody in a
you're
visual, yeah, obviously that's a
right.
problem.
Right, exactly. But like here's the thing, like I am not the statistical average, and I don't even make it a point to try to like encourage people to like what I like, cuz I don't need the competition, okay? I'm a 2 out of 10. I don't need better looking guys having the same taste as me. Y'all can just go for
Yeah,
whatever.
experienced my entire life. I'm right there with you, man. Like I've never liked anything normal from a young age.
Mhm.
You ever see that meme where it's like it's just like two stick figures and just the stick figures room is full of ladders and the parents is like, why can't you like normal things?
I get that. I feel that. Or like I talked about this. We did an episode of our podcast called The Spicy Spaghetti, and it was all like our hottest takes. And I was like, the internet has gentrified the word thick because now it's just used for like anyone who's moderately attractive. It's like that used to mean something, okay? Like us guys who like plus size women, it's like anime chubby. Like there's very little anime for guys who are into big women or giant women. It's rare, it's niche, it's hard to come by. And no, I don't. I will gatekeep this. I will be the one standing at the fence gatekeeping those who try to come and gentrify this. Uh, like my big thing recently, I've been playing Warframe, and the most recent Warframe is named Foley, and
Yeah,
she
you
is,
mentioned
yes, she's basically like the art house BBW of the frames. And I'm like, I will protect her no matter what. I will defend her. I am the fully defense force right here. And actually, funny enough, like one of the first memes that came out after her design was first displayed is someone had this comic where Foley is standing there and Excalibur, like the one of the first frames, sees her and she turns around to look at him and he suddenly like compacted his body to shape into a chair for her. And it's like, yes, that is the energy we need.
So funny.
It's like it's rare, right? Like you don't see it because like it's always you have the anime petite, you have you have the general girl next door type. Like maybe if you're lucky, you'll get in something like Monmusu, where you have like a cowgirl who shows up 13 volumes in. It's becoming more common. Like there's more options now, but like growing up in the otaku nerd sphere, it was super rare, and you kind of had to take what you could get.
Have you read Plus Size Elf?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I
Like,
was gonna say
I
because
have all
that's
of
like
the English released copies on my shelf as we speak.
holy shit based. Same. I was gonna say because I think there's like maybe 3 manga artists that know how to draw a big butt.
Yes, it is
Um,
shockingly rare.
oh no, Japan is like so if like liking butts was a spectrum, and if you have like Brazil on one end, Japan is on the exact opposite end.
I could see that. Yes, actually.
Like thanks to the recent algorithm changes, I've been seeing a lot of Japanese tweets lately. Uh, and God, I love Japanese Twitter. Uh, but so there was a Japanese guy saying, "Why do Brazilians draw Brazilian Miku with such a big ass? Like that's disgusting." And then just all the Japanese replies were like, "Coward, you don't get it."
I
They were calling like grandpa out of touch, like throwing
I
tomatoes at him.
the recent algorithm changes have been kind of magical because my timeline is now like a bunch of indie game devs, which are already more or less already there, but now I'm getting like a bunch of Japanese indie game devs, and on top of that, I'm getting like Japanese grandmas posting selfies, and I'm like, yes, this is good civilization. This is as it should be.
Yeah. So I am very happy to know that you also enjoy the big beautiful one because basically all of my OCs are large in some capacity.
I I will share with you some works that Dutaku and I have done over the years, mostly me. Dutaku
Oh,
appreciates the Dutaku really kind of latched onto June, actually, because his thing is muscle mommies. I will just tell on him because it's like 2 hours into this interview, so he's like the only person still watching at this point. So yeah, like he latched on to June, and so he's like, "Yeah, I know who I'm going after," and I'm like,
hell yeah.
"And more power to you." and like I saw Fuko, and it's like almost immediately she makes a reference to Monster Girl Rancher 2, and Dutaku actually like asks me, he's like, "Did they cater this reference specifically to you?" And I was like, they might as well have for like
Oh,
how
dude.
weirdly prescient that one comment is.
Have you played Underline Last Defense Academy at all?
I have not.
Okay. So there are 2 characters in that game that just keep making very obscure references to certain things. There is a wrestling girl that keeps referencing like very like stuff from like the 70s and the 80s that you have to be really deep in to know. And my buddy's playing it right now and he's just like, "Oh, who wrote this girl? Can I buy them a beer? Can I can I marry the person who wrote this?"
I get that.
So Fuko kind of has that energy where like if you have been on the internet for minimum of 20 years, if you have played some obscure games, there's going to be like she says things that like 3 people would understand.
I respect the hustle because I'm kind of in
And
a
then there's
similar boat.
also there is a there's also a somewhat lengthy sequence towards the end of the game that is a reference that like 3 people on this continent would understand.
Nice.
Yeah, so if if anyone listening enjoys anime lays with like cartoonishly large knockers, please check out our future products because I have some cowgirl OCs that I intend to use in some upcoming games.
Absolutely based. I guess now is a good time to ask, like, is there going to be a streamer safe mode, and what kind of content warnings should we expect from the full release?
So there is actually indeed a streamer safe mode. It was actually included in the demo.
Ah,
I think it's just called NSFW mode.
okay.
With like the updated UI in the full release, it's literally just like a checkbox you click. The only thing it changes is that it just has like a little chibi UU head over nipples, and like that's it.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's like the only content that changes. Like no dialogue gets changed. There are some gags where like it will cut to like a like please stand by thing, but that's for like comedic effect.
Okay.
Yeah, so if anyone says like, "Oh, you censored the scene," like, no, no, no. Like from the get-go, this was supposed to be a cutaway gag while like something that would probably get the game banned off Steam happens in the background.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, also there's like like another issue was like I don't know how to write this given the size differences. So I'm like, I'm just gonna make this a funny thing instead.
There's certain logistics, and honestly, getting into them kind of ruins the fun, I think.
Yes.
So I respect it.
Well, also there's another issue where the programmer has to read the entire script to program it,
Right.
and the programmer is not into this at all.
I keep coming across this because I talked to like the head editor of A Whole Lot to Love, like flat out told me point blank. He was like, "I'm not into fat girls," but I'm like, "Okay, but you're the head editor of like a big girl dating sim." So, like, I get it.
So
Honestly,
how
I
do you?
think having a dissenting voice actually can be a positive thing for a project.
Oh, the well, like the programmer never dissented on anything. I did make sure to tell the programmer like, hey, if you come across a line where you're like, you should consider changing this, or like, this seems a bit long or redundant. I never suggested that once.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I
so like
don't know if that's a
maybe it's
I
fair
don't
to
know if that's a
say
good or
like
a bad
a
sign.
people could expect like a maybe like a PG-13 ish kind of rating. Might be fair to
If
say
it
it's like
wasn't for the nipples, it would be PG-13.
okay, that's fair. A little bit of edgy. All right,
Literally, just the occasional nipple is like what's causing issues,
fair.
which
All
is like so stupid.
right. Yeah, like I said, the Western civilizations are quite censorious about that. Now, I was just going to our next question is like, what kinds of themes will we see in the five routes? Basically, five routes. Do they like tie into their size, or is it more like circumstantial, or where they're just like, okay, I like this just is what I am, but like it doesn't really matter.
So the size plays a big role in Hifumi, Maya, and June's routes, especially June's routes, because yeah.
Right. Right.
um, it's not important for Yu Yu and Fuko's routes, but it's important for their backstory.
Okay.
I can't say too much on that without spoilers,
Fair.
but it does matter to some degree. Like Yu Yu and Fuko have mostly like accepted that. Um, like Maya, is obviously divorced because of it.
Right.
Um, yeah. So, but Hifumi's route is, uh, yeah, like I'm still trying to maintain friendships. Obviously, like I am physically changing, but we can still make something work, right?
Yeah.
June's is I'm trying to think what I oh yeah. June's route is so I had a lot of not a lot, but like three or four people ask me on Twitter about June's route. They're like, hey, I'm kind of getting June's acting a little bit sus. I go, yeah, her route's about getting de-radicalized. And they're like, oh, thank you. Good, like good to know. I'm like, did 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 you think I was supporting June? Like was I not clear in like how absurd the Giantess student union was? Do I need to have like a little frowny face or like some emoticons to like display what the audience should be feeling? Um, yeah, so June's theme is a de-radicalization, like just how like suddenly getting power or like going into college can like radicalize you or like change your beliefs. Foucault's is dealing and with and overcoming insecurities while trying to like improve yourself.
Right.
Yu's is trying to uh basically it's just trying to like balance life and work. I think Yu's is like the most simple of all five of the routes.
Hmm.
Uh, but now his theme is it's mostly what his mom like nags him about every other time he calls, like, hey, go outside, talk to people, like you just try as many things as you can, do as much as you can while your body still works.
Yep.
Because eventually we're all going to hit an age where we're like, yeah, it's a lot harder to do stuff. Should have done that while my body worked.
Yep. I get it. Like I said, I'm an old man, so like I sympathize.
Dude, I felt old. I've been feeling old for like a decade and a half, man. Like uh,
Well,
you know that meme where it's like I'm 29, it's so over. Like
yes.
that's how I've been feeling for like 10 years.
Uh, I get. I
Like
sympathize.
you know the meme where it's like, no, mom, I'm only 24. 24 is young.
Yes.
I'm the exact opposite where I'm like, I'm only 24. It's so over. I
Jeez.
wasn't min-maxing and like betting stock options and like playing the market when I was 4.
Yeah,
Oh
it's like I
no, it's
wasn't buy. It's a meme where it's like I wasn't buying real estate. I was instead, being in utero and unable to move.
I didn't buy the dip during 2008 because I was in 5th grade.
Ugh, hashtag relatable. All right.
Yeah.
So I am now obligated by Ditaku law, even though he is not here to enforce it, but I enforce it on his behalf. Gun to your head. Who is your favorite girl and why?
Hifumi 100%. I like blondes. I like childhood best friend slash girl next door.
Mhm.
I like giant titties. I like cheerleaders. I just every literally just everything put together that is Hifumi. Um, mine is probably a close second though.
That's fair.
Uh, although in terms of like who would be the most fun to hang out with, probably Fuko.
I get that.
But like my favorite character, like the one that I would want to marry would be Hifumi.
That's fair. Like I'll put the gun at my own head for its own sake. I will say I think Maya is my waifu and probably the one I'm going to pursue in my playthrough for the channel. I would say Fuko is a very, very close second.
Hell yeah. I'll add some additional context from some other
Sure.
members of the dev team. The programmer says Yu because flat is justice. Uh, and then Jotaro Raito, the character and CG artist, says Maya because he likes her relaxed MILF energy and the sweater and the jeans. And June is a close second.
Heck yeah. Ditaku's is Jun, as I said.
Nice.
And he specifically wanted me to ask, and I'm not 100% sure how to say this word, so please bear with me. Is Jun espousing Jushe, but for GTS, or something more nuanced than that?
Uh, so this is actually one of my favorite questions, just because it's just really funny. But the response was also funny. Let me just bring out my notes real quick.
Sure thing.
Sorry, just give me a sec.
No, no, you're good.
Okay. Uh, yeah, so I wrote June is espousing a GTS ultra-nationalist ideology, but she is unsure about the specifics. If you asked her what Juche was, she would think it's a brand of cheese.
I remember reading that, and I'm like, that's just beautiful.
Yeah. So June's route, it was kind of inspired by some classmates slash former friends I had in college.
Right.
Did you go to university at all?
I did. I got an associate's degree, and my college actually lied to my face about prerequisites to try to get more money out of me. So once I had that, I was
Oh,
like, deuces, I'm out.
oh, cool. God, I love the higher education industry. It's so cool.
It's definitely something, all right.
Yeah. So when I was in college, like half of my friends became alcoholics
Oof.
slash weed addicts, and then the other half became political extremists.
Oh boy, that's always fun, and that's the only thing they're ever going to want to talk about again.
Yep. So you can kind of see my frustrations with that through June's route a little bit.
Right.
So if June's ideology or the GSU's ideology seems incoherent or not practical, that's because it turns out college students typically don't have coherent political ideologies.
Yeah. I kind of thought that might be where you were driving at, but I was just like, it's really interesting though because I've seen that and I grew up around people who really got into that same kind of mindset as June. And then, like at first, I was kind of repelled by her, to be honest, because I'm like, oh boy, roll my eyes and walk away because like I've dealt with this type before. And the thing that threw me off, and probably in no small part because I used the dev save because I have the observational skills of a tomato. At the end of the second part of the demo that I did, I actually had like now I had this really touching moment with June where she kind of like let her guard down and just talked like a normal person. And I'm like, you can't do this to me now. Like you were supposed to be at the bottom of the totem pole and now you're working your way up and now I feel conflicted. So like I think it's testament to the excellent character writing.
Thank you. Yeah, one of my favorite parts about writing characters is just seeing how they act differently in different environments.
Right.
And just how they act with like different characters versus when they're alone. Because there were times when I would like see my friends behave a certain way in a club, and then when it's just us, they're like a completely different person.
Yep. I get that.
Um, yeah, yeah, I miss my friends, man.
Dude, I feel that because like Dutaku Kag and I, the guys who like started the Tomodachi Bros podcast, we went to the same high school and like middle school together. So like we were actually all there at one point, and now we're scattered to the five winds because I swear a fifth
Oh,
one joined in. Uh, now we're all over the place. Like I 100% get that. Uh, so in the story, it is mentioned that kaiju exist. Now,
yes.
did they come from the same event as the sudden burst in giantesses, or were they just like always here?
So that's a great question. I don't elaborate on this too much in the game, but it is elaborated on in the short story.
Okay.
Basically, well, it's also mentioned in like a later school segment by the teacher, but they're still doing research on it. But the in-universe like scientific explanation is whatever is causing the growth spurt basically gets negated by a Y chromosome.
Okay.
So like just dudes can't grow. Y chromosome is just like, no, get that shit out of here.
Yeah, you
Now the
heard it,
growth
bros.
thing.
You will forever be pocket princes in this universe. You just need to accept it.
So now the growth spurt also extends to animals.
Okay.
So yeah, so giant bunny, giant, what have you. Now I haven't used this yet, but I think it'd be funny if I make a strategy RPG with the girls. Some cephalopod, excuse me, some sea life can change sex. So I think it'd be funny if they were like fighting a giant squid, and then like halfway through the squid just shrinks because just the squid turned male.
Oof. It's like Ultraman running out of his color timer. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Or just like changing your Splatoon avatar between matches. That's actually one of like the funniest bits about Splatoon lore. Like, yeah, you can change your character's appearance because squids can just do that.
Yep. Well, the ocean is terrifying. We are landlocked for a good
Yes.
reason.
Yes. Um, yeah, I think I do mention somewhere. I forget if it's in the game or in like the short story, but they just tend to congregate in the ocean because it's just easier to navigate and easier to hunt in there.
Right, that makes sense.
And also there's like it's easier to stay under the cover of the ocean. Like, yeah, they
Right.
could go on land, but they'd get, shot up by helicopters. So they're like, I'm just going to go in the ocean. They're not going to hit me there.
No, I mean that checks out. There would be certain behavioral patterns that develop because of military response.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So, like, what has the response to the demo and the previews been thus far? Like, I keep joking about the advertising campaign where it's like, I can always tell because like the OP will basically have nothing to do with anything, and then there's RakuenSoft right behind them. Like, do you like X? Well, you should play our game. And I'm like, I
Tangentially related.
I love to see it.
Oh, yeah. So the response to the demo and previews have been overwhelmingly positive so far. It's always a joy just seeing somebody, whether it's a VTuber, whether it's a podcaster, or just like a rando on Twitter, like post reactions. It's just so comforting to know that my writing is not Kuso. Uh, artists tend to be their own worst critics.
Yeah.
Uh, so when I'm writing this, I'm like, man, I'm 400,000 words in. I really hope it's at least decent.
Right.
But then, like, when the programmer was just like reacting to the script as she was programming it, she was like, "Hey, I'm not into this, but this is actually like kind of cute, and like I ship Hifumi and Naoya really hard." And also, like, the programmer legit cried during 2 scenes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really encouraging, I would say.
Yeah, so I'm like, "Oh, cool. Heck yeah." So, like, generally, I tend to write like more lighthearted, funny stuff,
Right.
or just like horror rom-com stuff, just because I think that's really funny. And also just allows for a wide variety of character interactions. So it's good to know that I can make people laugh because uh, man, bad comedy is painful, extra painful.
Yes.
Because like bad action is boring or like hard to follow. Bad horror is like annoying. But bad comedy just makes me want to die.
Yeah. It's like I heard it said like a bad joke told well can elicit some laughs, but a good joke
Yes.
told poorly will always just be met with people rolling their eyes.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, so I am very relieved that people like me, like my writing, no matter what I'm writing. One of the more interesting responses that I've seen, it was a VTuber playing the game, and the VTuber got to like June's part,
Right.
like the Genesis Student Union scene, and like everyone in the chat, including the VTuber, was like, "Oh yeah, you can tell a white guy wrote this." And then they spend the next 3 hours having the time of their life, like laughing, feeling for the characters, getting really into it. So I'm like, I don't think you meant to compliment me, but you kind of ended up doing so.
That's that is very interesting to me.
Like, oh yeah, oh, white guy wrote this, proceeds to enjoy it.
Like I guess you kind of made them eat their words, so like I think that's really interesting.
Oh yeah.
So like I guess
Well,
I have to stroke my own ego here, and I have to ask, like, having watched through my playthrough of the demo, what were your like impressions, or was there anything weird or out of the ordinary or noteworthy in my playthrough?
so in terms of noteworthy, I would say it's the first time I've seen just anybody play the game.
Really?
So yeah, so it was kind of like I'm like, oh, this is kind of nerve wracking. This is
Oh,
like the first time.
jeez.
Well, because it's different when like the programmer's playing it because that's like in house
Right.
and like we know each other. But I'm like, oh, this is so her view on the game is going to be biased in some degree,
Right.
right?
Of course.
But when there's some stranger online, there's like no, I guess there's like no sense of obligation to like adjust the feedback.
Right.
Right, like you can be as brutal as you want with like no expectations or or like retribution, I guess,
Right. No.
which is
Of
good,
course. Yeah.
which is good and important, absolutely. So I'm like, oh god, I hope it's fine. And like it's like my favorite video on the game so far.
Thank you.
Well, because it's also really interesting seeing just the wide variety in reception. So like with that other VTuber who got to like the GSU part, that VTuber was like yes, yes, June, yes, Queen, absolutely, yes, rise up 100%. And then you guys are like just trying to ascertain like specifically what her ideology is.
See, like, here's the thing. Ditaku is not that, like, he's not really into giantesses, and he's not into like big girls. That's not his thing.
Yeah,
Like, he has his own things, like everyone does. But like, he has his own things.
yeah.
I kind of dragged him along. I was like, "Hey, you want to like co-commentate on this with me?" He's like, "Yeah, this looks like it'd be like really fun." He looked at some of the preview images, and he's like, "I want to see what you're getting yourself into." So like, that's why I'm like, "Am I going to get in trouble for this title screen?" Because like, it's the very first thing in the video is just Hifumi on full display, like laying in the Bay of Tokyo, basically. And
That's
I'm like,
in the business call a rent lowering shot.
it's
It
like,
it,
I'm like, am I
it
gonna get in
dictates its
trouble?
level.
So like, Ditaku's like, no, man, I got you. So like, he ad libbed the entire warning segment where he's like, oh, it's full of Neolithic fertility goddesses, and I'm like, yes, that is exactly what this is.
Dude's not wrong. Dude is not wrong.
So
Yeah, so that was really refreshing and like really funny to see because it also really reinforces of like, oh, everybody is going to walk away from this differently.
right,
Everyone's gonna like take away different things, and like as the writer, my own vision is like it's like it's too attached to the hip to it. Like
right,
I cannot possibly have an outsider's perspective on it just because it's like been in my brain and I've been like reading it, proofreading it, working on it for like 2 years. So like I'm almost like tired of it. Like it's not like I don't hate working on this, but I'm
right.
just like you know, I've read through every line more times than I can count. There's like no more surprises here.
Yeah.
So it's nice where I'm like, oh yeah, what is someone's first reaction to this gonna be?
Was I was the first playthrough, really?
That I saw. There might
Oh,
have
okay.
been, you know, some channel in Bulgaria that might have covered it by then.
Okay, fair. Fair. I knew like I wanted to do the demo right away. So like I don't believe there was a great deal of downtime between the demo going live and my video going up, but like that's still a little surprising.
Oh no, you were like the first responder. It was awesome.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Uh, and then there's another VTuber who like did all the endings for the demo. And she's wildly entertaining because half of it is just her like horny posting over Hifumi. And that is also very nice to see. And she goes, yeah, I'm just gonna readjust my entire stream schedule when the game comes out.
That's really
Um,
cool.
yeah, no, it's so nice. And like, dude, there's no better feeling than seeing people make fan art and like really good fan art of your characters. People have
Oh,
commissioned artists to like draw their OC with Fuko for like a game that's not even out yet.
that's
Like it's
incredible.
just the demo was able to inspire that, and that's just it's so good.
No, definitely. And I will say, like you earned it. You earned the praise and the positive reception that your game has garnered. Now, you said you've been writing it for 2 years. Was that the entire dev cycle, or was that like when you first put, word to page to today?
Well, so this dev cycle has been weird because you know everyone on the team has like full-time jobs aside from this.
Right.
If I had my own team and we were all like fully dedicated to this, we can pump a game like this out every year.
Okay.
And ideally, that's what I want to do. Like every 12 to 18 months, you just get another banger because I'm an old man. I preferred it when video games took 20 months max to make.
That checks out.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's kind of hard to build a brand if you know, take 10 years to make two mid games.
Right. No, I get that. Absolutely.
So I started writing it, like the actual script in like 2023. I finished writing it like early 2025. And then in like late 2024 versus slash early 2025, I finally worked up the courage to ask my friend, "Hey, do you want to program this?" Because I was like, I could program it myself, but I hate programming. Like, I get like hives and like just actively get in a worse mood when I have to program. So I'm like, maybe. And she was like, "Oh yeah, sure." I go, "You sure even with this art direction?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, sick, cool."
Let's do it.
Uh, yeah, so she would just like work on that like every now and then. Again, she had a full-time job, has to take care of family, so
Right.
yeah. Then the composers and the artists also took like I want to say about a year to like get everything done because they were also working like different gigs. Also like two like one of the artists and one of the composers also had like significant life problems, unfortunately, like
Oh,
halfway through.
geez.
So like their part took a little bit longer than expected.
Right.
But they're doing a lot better and everything's like just better now, which is a good thing to hear.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Um, yeah, so I guess like total because like my dev work finished like a year and a half ago. But I still had to pay the artist, so like that part of my dev work continued, and also my job as like the social media manager started. So like my hat's changed, but like the worst of the dev part is like behind me.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah. And like again, the game's like done. We're just waiting for Steam to like allow me to have a future now.
Right. So I guess the logical question, where did the name RakuenSoft come from?
Oh, so I'm very glad you asked that. So Rakuen is just Japanese for paradise.
Okay.
I just thought like, oh, that's cool. I like the characters. And soft, it was a very common thing for smaller indie devs in the visual novel scene in Japan in the 90s
Oh,
to call their dev studios something soft, because soft is just short in Japanese for software.
software. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so there's like cocktail soft, there's like there's a bunch of other just examples of like something soft.
Yeah, lots of them.
I think
Sunsoft with the guys who made Lemmings. Yeah.
yeah, I think Hudson Soft too.
Yeah.
So I thought like, oh, this is a cool naming convention that hasn't been used in a while. I'm just gonna everything else is a callback to the 90s visual novel scene. Might as well go all in with it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I like it. Punchy.
Thank you.
So,
And also it's not taken, so that
ah,
helps.
well, yeah, that definitely. I get that. So, I gotta ask, are there any gag endings? Is there like how like Silent Hill has the UFO ending where like you can completely derail everything? Is there a gag ending that we should be on the lookout for?
Depends how you define gag. Because there's like there's like two endings that are funny,
Okay.
but they're like legit endings. There's a bad ending you can get, which is also kind of funny. Uh, but like you really have to go out of your way to get the bad ending.
Like do you like to
You have to
sleep
like,
every day and just never do
yeah, you just
anything?
like sleep every day. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So at least people know what not
I
to do
do have to
now.
include gag endings in future titles because those things are hilarious.
Yes. That's our
Dog ending is the best ending of anything ever.
I always have to ask, that's our thing. It's like, is there a UFO ending? Like, is there a Shiba Inu in a spaceship controlling everything?
I might have to have something like that if I ever make that strategy RPG. The BBW the internal working title for that idea is BBW Tactics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess
I,
that is my next question is like, will we expect to see these characters in this world again?
Ideally, yes. It would probably be like the fourth or fifth game. Because we actually have like an internal company file where it just lists like different game ideas that I have.
Okay.
Um, and I was supposed to write them in order. Unfortunately, my creative process does not work like that.
Hmm.
Instead, I am struck by a vision of a character and I get really down bad for a OC that I have, and then I write the story with that OC in it.
Based.
Recently, I've been. Have you played Rune Factory at all?
Ah, that is a funny thing that you say. That's going to be the video that comes out 2 days after this one, all going
That's like
well, is going to be a podcast dedicated to the Rune Factory franchise.
sick. Okay, so I have only played Rune Factory 4 on my 3DS back in high school.
Fair.
I don't know how the other ones are, but I remember having a really good time with 4.
The good ones are all on Steam. The only one that is, I would say, like there's a strong divide between old Rune Factory and new Rune Factory, and that divide is right about Rune Factory 3. Three
Okay.
going forward is all really, really good, and you should play it. The only one that I would include in that group that is not on Steam is Tides of Destiny, which came out on the Wii and the PS3.
So funny. Yeah, so one of the things I've been writing a script for that game, for a game like that,
Okay,
this week. This week I've written 30,000 words for it.
damn.
TLDR, the premises, you wake up on an island with no memories, uh, and basically have you played Wind Waker?
Yes.
Okay, TLDR, the setting is the world has been flooded like Wind Waker,
Okay.
and it's also kind of like Nikke, where like 98% of men on Earth have died from like war.
All right.
So you're like, oh, harem island shenanigans. Half of it is first-person dungeon crawling with your squad, and every girl in the squad plays completely differently.
Okay.
And then the other half is just like, oh hey, I need more iron to like build a boat. Oh, I found a map. Okay, cool. Let's see what this island's about. Oh, the girl I want to marry wants me to build a bakery for her. Okay, I'm gonna collect materials from the mines and from enemies to build a bakery. Yeah, I don't like just the farming part. Like if it was just farming, whatever. I like it when a game has like two or three different systems that all feed and recycle into each other. So the thing I have right now is like, oh yeah, so you have a farm, you have a barn, you have like mines, and then I was thinking like, well, the girls won't level up from dungeons. The protag does, but the girls don't. The girls level up by like you doing favors and side quests for them.
Okay.
Like, oh hey, you get this, make a new out, you like get cloth and silk for this girl because she wants a new outfit. Oh, you unlocked a bonding event. She like learns a new spell from this or something.
Nice, dude. I'll be honest. I'll play the hell out of that. That sounds amazing.
Hell yeah, man. But that's like obviously a bigger scale because there's like actual gameplay mechanics. So that would be
Right.
like 5 or 6 games deep.
No, of course.
Um, yeah. But yeah, BBW Tactics would definitely have multiple endings. Would probably be like fourth game
Okay.
because we could reuse a lot of assets.
Fair.
But I was also planning to introduce like new giant girls, kind of like do like a Bunny Garden 2 situation. But the gimmick for the new girls, how familiar are you with like the early Godzilla and like kaiju movies?
Oh, dude, that's my jam.
Okay, so so you're familiar with like the design of the costumes, right?
Right.
So the new giant girls would all be in like kaiju costumes from the 60s and 70s. Like it's clearly a costume.
You
And
know,
like you can like vaguely see their eyes like peeking out, or you can see like a little tuft of hair like
that's
sneaking out of the
that is
helmet.
hilarious. And the I think the funniest thing is the suit actress for Baragon. There's like this behind the scenes footage before they had like overdubbed it. There's a bit where they're doing a test scene in the Baragon suit, and she's like crawling around, and there's a bit where Baragon's supposed to like throw his head back and roar. So like to kind of like
Yeah.
be a stopgap, the actress does this little gal. It is absolutely adorable. You got to look it up.
Yeah, it kind of be like if I had to describe it using another strategy RPG, kind of like a Fire Emblem.
Right.
And like that, so basically it's oh hey, the kaiju part of the setting wasn't established enough. That's where the strategy RPG comes in. That's where the kaijus are coming from. except like the kaiju commanders are like those girls in the costumes, and the regular enemies are just kaijus.
Okay.
I had this one idea for a character who like you recruit as an ally. Her name is Mother, like Moth dash ER. And so you beat her, but then she like sacrificed herself to like help you guys out because she like learns the error of her ways.
Right.
And then everyone like cries, and then she just like pops back into frame like 2 seconds later. And then like so she has a move in her character list like just like self-destruct where like she does immense damage to an enemy, but she like gets removed from the map. It's like there's no permadeath. Like like
Right.
you can absolutely do like sacrificial plays. Um and I had an idea where like further on in the game she'll like be sacrificing herself every other chapter. And eventually
That
she starts like getting really eager to do it. And everyone's like, no, we don't, you don't have to do that. She's like, no, please let me.
please let me do this.
Yeah.
That is
Because
hysterical, and I love it because I am so ingrained in the source material. Like that is hysterical.
like Mothra just keeps coming back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a rare opportunity to make a Batra joke if you're familiar. There was a
Fortunately not.
in one particular film, I think it's one of the Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla films. It turns out there is a male counterpart to Mothra named Batra, and it's supposed to be Battle Mothra, but everyone's like, "Oh, it's a giant bat." It's like, no, it's actually another giant moth. It's just Battle Mothra, and like, yeah, he only appears in one film ever, and then like in a stock footage shot in Destroy All Monsters, and then never again. And I did a review of the Destroy All Monsters Melee trilogy, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this one version of the game randomly just has Batra." It's like, who's Batra? It's like that is a perfectly legit question to ask.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the tone for the tactics game would just be a complete shitpost. Like it's very much like just tokusatsu in like tone. Just yeah, it's yeah.
That sounds
I
great.
hope I hope I get to write that because it would also be a lot shorter of a game. I was only
Right.
planned to have like 20 something chapters.
Okay.
Yeah, with like branching paths and whatnot, and the character like there'll only be like 12 playable characters tops. So
Right.
like it's definitely more ambitious, but also like scaled back, I guess.
Right. It's the safe not reinventing the wheel meme.
Yes.
I get it.
Oh yeah, and like the next game idea would be a Monster Club cabaret game. So, have you played Yakuza 0?
I have, yes.
Okay, you like the cabaret game?
Yeah.
So imagine that, but it's all monster girls, and like that's just the game.
Bro, sign me up.
Hell yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up to a close. And if you at home have hung in there for the 2 hours and 45 minutes that we've been recording, you legends, thank you. And please do that like, comment, subscribe thing. That helps us out a great deal. And if it's not out by the time this video goes live, you should go and wish list Big Beautiful Women Giantess Dating Action because it is a fantastic game. If you need proof, I played through the demo. You can see it. It's good. I promise you it's good. So thank you, John Rakuen, for joining us here and regaling us with more behind the scenes knowledge of this amazing game.
Thank you very much, Hipster Snake. Always a pleasure. You are an incredible host.
Thank you.
Very, very lucky to have met you.
Absolutely. Let us not be passing trains in the night. Let us stay in touch and see if we can maybe work on some projects together in the future. I bet the fans at home would enjoy that.
I would absolutely adore that. If you would like to feature me on any future podcast episodes, I would love to be a co-host.
Hell yeah.
You are super fun to talk to.
I appreciate that. You as well, sir. Anyway, we're going to see you guys next time.
Because not even remakes of old PC 98 games use pixels anymore. Are you familiar with the game at all?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. It was made by Elf Corporation. It was like the visual novel of 1996. It was on the PC 98. It was on Sega Saturn. Just like hugely, massively influential in Japan.
Okay.
Both for the genre and like games as a whole. It was like the bestseller of the year. A bunch of like notable Spike Chunsoft authors and just staff were like, yeah, this game's awesome. It
Okay.
definitely influenced us. So it got a remake on PS4 and Steam, and it sucked all the soul out.
Ooh.
So it has the option to switch between the new arranged soundtrack or the original soundtrack,
Right.
but it doesn't give you the option for the pixel art versus the like
Um,
the new drawn art. And
okay.
I'll send you some examples comparing the CGs. It is not the same game.
That's fair. Y-
Like the lighting is different, the composition is different.
mm,
Um, and also the new version is like censored.
oh, okay.
I'm like, what? I'm like, so it's extra funny. I was reading reviews of it on Steam, and one of the funnier reviews was they cut out the sex scenes, but the sex scenes contain plot critical information.
Oh. Oh boy.
Like there was a big character revelation in one of the sex scenes that's just gone now.
That's great. That
It was not an unnecessary sex scene. The sex scene was very necessary.
See, I'm a very anti-censorship man myself. Very
Nice.
anti-censorship snack. I've always been against anyone telling an artist what they can and can't do, and like that's just double funny to me because like I've read about we mentioned I have no mouth and I must scream. In the German version of that game, you can't beat the game because in one of the flashbacks from one of the five survivors has Nazi imagery. And so they cut out the part of the game, but you need to complete that part of the game for the flag for all five characters' stories being completed to actually be set. So you literally just cannot beat the game under any circumstances.
So German censorship is like extra funny, especially in regards to Nazi imagery, because an overwhelming majority of the time in video games, you kill the Nazis. You are actively encouraged, like that
Yeah,
is the goal.
it's the
So
doom
like,
it's the doom
I'm like,
problem, right?
don't
Like
you want this?
it's like yeah, like that's the thing. Like I keep seeing memes online. It's like Christian organizations complained about doom, but like you're not helping the demons. You're fighting back against them. That should be what you want.
It's so funny. Uh,
The
oh
irony.
man,
Now,
it's so funny.
I will confess, my love of visual novels is a modern thing for me. I did not grow up with them. The first
Nor did I.
the first visual novels I played, and I didn't even really know they were technically visual novels until someone pointed it out to me, were the Ace Attorney games.
Hey,
And so, like, that's kind of what got me into them. And then the first one I actually did for the channel was this indie game inspired by the Ace Attorney games, Nina Aquila Legal Eagle. And I did the demo for that game, and that kind of sent me down the rabbit hole, which sent me towards A Whole Lot to Love and Omoneko, which is why now I'm suddenly friends with like every visual novel developer in the internet. It just keeps happening now. Because apparently you guys all know each other. I don't know.
uh, I mean, I don't. Do we?
It
I
seems
will
like you
say I
do.
have. I mean, I hope so. I have not reached out to any indie devs personally. I should start doing that more.
Hey, I'll
It's more so
introduce
the
you if you want.
oh, please, yeah, absolutely. I mean, networking, making new friends is always nice.
Absolutely. Grayus loves
Uh,
your stuff. So, I mean, like,
that's an incredible honor. Tell your buddies thank you.
absolutely.
Um, yeah. So, with my thing in visual novels, how do you define growing up with them?
I would say like the formative years, like probably like
Because
5 through
middle
like
school is pretty
teen.
formative in
Yeah.
regards to taste.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like I played 999 in middle school. Like, does that count?
I would say so. I would say so.
Okay.
You got to
So,
understand, like, I was born in the 80s. So, like, my formative gaming
oh,
years were like the Super Nintendo, the PS1. PS2 generations of hardware. So it's a little bit different for me. And like
Well,
visual novels in that time frame were still kind of looked upon as being a very Japanese thing. Like they were like quote unquote they were weird.
I
Uh,
still are.
no, they still get that, but like that was really the common mindset. Like we didn't get Final Fantasy V because they were like,
Yeah.
oh, Americans are too stupid to understand RPGs, and yet paradoxically we got Final Fantasies 1, 4, and 6, and then like so on sequentially. It's like you skipped like the best damn game in this franchise, so you could give us Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. You can all just burn for all I care.
So you know what's like an unfortunate reality
What's that?
of just like Western gaming tastes? Like they're not wrong.
You know what? You're yeah, no, no, they're
Like,
not.
your average American gamer is like, what numbers? No, where's my where's my sports?
Yeah,
Where's my gambling?
the sports ballers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with
Well,
you on that.
it's double crazy because like even Square Enix, what used to be like the god of the genre is like, oh, we don't want to make RPGs. We want to make Devil May Cry 5, but bad.
But not as good as actual Devil May Cry.
It, so FF16 is so funny to me because Square can and does make good action games.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've, Strangers of Paradise, basically Neo 3. In fact, I prefer Stranger of Paradise over Neo 3.
The Bouncer was like prototypical for several other action RPGs, but like no one remembers that game.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is a better, more fun, better designed action RPG than FF16.
Oh gosh.
And Kingdom Hearts 2 is just the best game ever made.
I'm not gonna. I have opinions on this. Uh,
So you're probably correct, but okay,
there's the phrase "there is no accounting for taste" goes back to like ancient Mesopotamia. Like that's just always how it's been.
for context, you have to understand if you are in middle school when Kingdom Hearts 2 comes out, it's over.
Based on some of my coworkers at my day job, I 100% believe that.
It's one of those things where you just had to be there, you had to get the brain chemistry just right. Uh,
Mm, mm.
and like say what you will about the Cage 2 plot, like the gameplay is still so good.
Uh, all due respect, from my generational perspective, Kingdom Hearts was the game you played when you shopped at Hot Topic. And that joke just
Yes.
dated me because like American malls are all dead now. But like that was very much the stereotype. I played through Kingdom Hearts 1 and I played like halfway through Chain of Memories before it made me throw my Game Boy Advance across the room. Because Chain of
Fair.
Memories is really, really bad.
Yeah.
And like I was just like, oh my god, it's just the first game again, but worse somehow.
Two's so good though, but two's
uh
so good.
so like for me, like my formative years, like funny enough, like Monster Rancher is like a big thing for me and my channel. And like I started playing BBW and it's like I'm raising up Naoya the same way I do a monster, just with slightly different stats. It's how Uma Musume like hooked me like immediately. I'm like, oh, it's like Monster Rancher, but with like cute girls. I'm okay with this.
The thing that frustrates me about gaming markets is, like any market, the trends change over time.
Yeah,
But when they change trends, when studios chase new trends, they leave the existing market to die,
right.
despite the fact that there is still a demand there. Like
Absolutely.
the people yearn for Princess Maker. People want Princess Maker games. There is demand for that.
Absolutely.
Like, have you heard of Volcano Princess?
I can't. No, not that one
Volcano Prin-
specifically.
Okay, Volcano Princess. Well, are you familiar with Princess Maker?
Yes,
Okay, have you played any of them?
a couple of them. Yes.
Okay, Volcano Princess is just Princess Maker but Chinese.
Oh, okay.
What highly highly recommend it.
All right. Fair.
The English translation is a bit scuff,
Okay.
but that's just part of the Princess Maker experience.
Honestly, that's
So
just kind of like that's part and parcel of the genre. It's like I expect this. Even Monster Rancher is kind of famous for its Hong Kong level translation, so it's like I accept this.
so why is Okay, so why is bad translations, but they're bad because they're scuffed funny, but other bad translations are infuriating?
I have a theory for this, and it's actually something that we wanted to do a podcast episode. I should have you on when we do it. Uh,
Oh, please, I'd be
see,
honored.
see, there's a bit in Monster Rancher 2. Monster Rancher 2 is really famous for this. There's several lines that your assistant Coltia will say that are just nonsense. There's a bit where a tree grows on your ranch, and the English translation says, "I wonder it buds the flower," and it's like, what? I'm sorry. Like, you kind of get what she's trying to say, but she says it in a nonsense way. And then there's an event when you're unlocking the Beaklon monster, who's this big rhinoceros beetle. She sees the cocoon and she's like, "Oh, I wonder it's the type that comes out." And you're just like, "I'm sorry. I can't even begin to parse that one."
Oh, dude, that you ever watch the Fire Emblem OVA?
No, that's actually on my to watch list, but I have not.
So translations like that give me big like English dub of the Fire Emblem OVA. So in like 90s translations, I'm sure you've experienced
Yes.
this.
Oh, yes.
Um, and as a Japanese language learner currently, I completely understand why it's like this in some cases. Translating from katakana sucks sometimes,
Right.
especially with like fantasy names, because you're like, this isn't a name. How am I supposed to
What do I do with
translate
this?
this?
Right.
Right, because if the katakana is like Catherine, like okay, Catherine, obviously,
Right.
clearly. But there's a Fire Emblem character named Ogma, and his Japanese katakana name is Oguma.
All right.
So in the English dub, they say Oguma, even though every game in English like spells
Ogma.
it Ogma. And to be fair, Ogma like that name has never been like pronounced in like a official Japanese game
Fair.
or like an official yeah.
There's a
Um,
joke that is lost for that exact same reason in the Power Stone anime. Now, there's a fun fact: Power Stone had an anime, uh,
damn.
and it's actually pretty decent. It's it's kind of your standard shonen action fighting anime comedy. It's good. I liked it. Uh, they mispronounced the villain's name the entire anime. It's supposed to be Kraken because he's named for the sea beast, but they
Yeah.
decided to like pronounce it Kraken. And so, like, the entire show, they're calling him Kraken, which is like, okay, whatever. But there's a bit where there's a contest show, and like each of the characters is like, oh, like I have this talent, or I can do this. And Ryoma, who's called Ryoma because 90s translations,
Yeah.
was like showing off his swordsmanship. And they get to the main character, Falcon, and they're like, oh, what's your talent? And he goes, okay, let's get Kraken and get Kraken. And I was like, you killed the joke because you changed his name's pronunciation.
Okay, so there's that. I forget what game it was that had the same issue, except for one character. So I
Really?
think it was actually Persona 5. Everybody was pronouncing a character's name wrong except for one specific character. So I'm like, okay, so did the voice director not know or care? Was like this voice actor the only one who knew how to pronounce this Japanese last name? Because it's not so much the actual pronunciation. The issue is more so the like the pace or the intonation.
Right.
So have you played Persona 5?
I have not.
Okay, so there's a character named An Takamaki.
All right.
All like half the characters say Takamaki
So they just
instead
add
of
another
Takamaki.
they add another syllable to the name?
It's more like there's just more emphasis.
Okay.
So like most people with brain would say Takamaki, but for some reason they're like Takamaki for some reason.
Okay. Well, see, like, here's the thing. Like, I think there's something kind of charming about it. It's like there was either a mistake made, or they didn't have the budget, or there wasn't a very good voice direction. Like, there's any number of reasons why these mistakes could happen. The reason why, like, the modern incarnation of this problem is so infuriating is because it's almost always driven by some kind of political, like,
Yes.
underlying message. And that's what makes it infuriating. It's like, I don't want to talk about politics and my anime escapism. Like, literally, that's the last place I want to see it.
So it's even worse. Half of it is that, but The other half is them just getting it wrong. Have you played Metaphor?
No.
Okay. Very good game. It's basically just Persona 6.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
lot of lines in that game. So one of the fun things about being a Japanese language learner is I'm at the level now where if a character says something in Japanese audioly, but their text box says something, I'm like, that's not what they said. That's not what they said, game. But so in Metaphor, a character says like, um, "Oh, I'm not afraid of this," but the Japanese line is something to the effect of, uh, like I'm afraid I was wrong. And there's
Uh,
another example where a character in a dungeon will say like, "Ah, it doesn't matter what comes our way, we can strike them all down." And the English translation was like, "We might not run into enemies." Like
that's
those are
those are
two different
completely
sentences.
different ideas. It's not even conveying the same idea.
Yeah, so and like translating nowadays is a lot easier because we have gshow.org, we have, phone apps
Yeah,
that like streamline a lot of the process, but also there's just more like non-Japanese people learning Japanese.
right.
So it's because we don't have the same technology or like budget constraints back then. Because back then, you had like maybe one guy in the office that took like a semester of Japanese in college, and that was like the best you could do with.
Right.
And also, it's like, hey, we need you to translate all of FF7 in 3 weeks. Get on it.
Yeah. Or
But like
you had
nowadays,
good.
but nowadays, like we should know better by now. You have access to professionals, you have tools that can make it easier. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no excuse. Like the only time I really like ever kind of eschewed this rule, there was a dub inexplicably of Bobo 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 Bobo. But the entire anime is nonsense wordplay jokes. So like when they dub it, it's
Yeah.
like, do you translate it literally, or like do you do what Jenny did and just like make new jokes that fit the scene? It's like that's all they could do. So I actually am one of those times where I'm like, in this case, it makes sense, and they basically were like, they went for that energy of we try to exchange a bad joke for a bad joke and a good joke for a good joke kind of energy. And I'm like,
I
in
saw
that case, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, there's a you ever hear of the visual novel Desire?
I've heard of.
Okay. So there's a 90s there's a official like American translation made in like the late 90s.
Okay.
And there's references in that game to Japanese politicians at the time.
Oh boy.
Uh, right. So the localizers were like, nobody's gonna know who the fuck this is. So they're like, okay, what did this politician do? Oh, sex scandal? Okay, just make it a Bill Clinton joke. So I'm like, okay, that's actually perfect localization.
That actually kind of makes sense though. There's a very clear logic there. So like I wouldn't even grouse about that. I'm like, okay, fine, fair, all right,
Because I'm the kind where it's like, okay, make the context one to one because like you can find equivalents anywhere.
right,
Like you can, yeah. Or I'm the type that's like, just give me a giant ass author's note. I'm
yeah.
totally fine. Just make it 3 paragraphs long. I don't care. I'm fine. I'm fine learning. Like yes, give me more knowledge of Japanese pop culture in the
Now
90s, please.
you
I
know the
beg
one.
you.
There is an anime that does this really really well, and it's one of the many excellent dubs done by ADV before they died, and they did Excel Saga, and there's literally a culture notes mode that would overlay like Minchie's like the dogs would pop up and it would have like, oh, this is a reference to this, or like this line had to be changed, but here's why.
So
And
good.
yeah, it's like, ADV, you will be missed. You did such great work, and no one respects the hustle now. And that's the problem. Is actually here in the West, in the English-speaking world, there's basically a de facto monopoly. Like Crunchyroll owns everything in terms of localizers now. So like
Well,
it
it's
all gets
also
filtered through them.
also we have this unique issue with voice actors where it's the same people from '98.
It's
Like,
the
oh,
unions, yeah.
it's like, oh, were you here at the right place in the right time like 30 years ago? Okay, you're just everything until you die.
Yep. That's why the
But
world had
also,
experienced a vacuum when Wendy Lee retired.
wait, she retired?
Far as I know, I haven't seen her in anything in the last like 10 years.
Okay, so that's really funny to me because Wendy Lee voices Lynn Fire Emblem.
Right.
So maybe they just like drag her out of retirement to like voice like
Like,
the 20th Lynn alt in Fire Emblem Fatal.
okay, I didn't know that. So like maybe she isn't. Maybe she scaled it back. But the thing that breaks my heart, and like this is, oh god, this is gonna date me so freaking hard. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm basically Tojima from Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider at this point, um, but nowhere near as good looking. Uh, there's a there was Mega Man X ran into this really dark period around X5, XX, and X7. So people kind
Right
of
the
gave
ground.
up on the franchise, despite the fact that I love Mega Man X. It is my favorite Mega Man series. So Mega Man X Command Mission, the RPG spinoff, and Mega Man X8 are like the best games in the franchise. And Mark Gatha voices X. And if you're not familiar, he did the voice dub for Domon Kashu in G Gundam. And it's like that is the voice I associate with X now. And he retired.
Ah.
He retired, and Capcom just like didn't call back Lucas Gilbertson. So like now X and Zero are done by completely different voice actors. So the only thing they've done in recent years was like Teppen, the mobile game. And I'm just like that. Like they're trying, they're doing a decent job, but it's like I associate those roles with Mark Gatha and Lucas Gilbertson, and I will never be able to let go of that because like in 2003, that was like my jam.
So if Wendy Lee did retire, that actually be really funny. Um, so Wendy Lee voiced Konata Izumi and Haruhi Suzumiya.
Okay.
Aya Hirano voices Haruhi Suzumiya in the Japanese dub.
Okay.
Aya Hirano, she's been retired, I want to say, for like a decade now. But apparently in the voice actor industry in Japan, once you retire, people say, "Oh, they moved out to the gacha farms." Basically, like they just like show up to the office every now and then, like, "Hey, you want to voice this like cat girl in our gacha game?" She's like, "Yeah, sure."
Sure, why not?
So like people like I have a buddy who's like playing Grand Blue Fantasy, and he's like,
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope he gets better
why is
soon.
Athena Sykes in my game? Athena Sykes, what the hell? Why are you here? So it'd be really funny if Wendy Lee was like just literally following the same career trajectory as Aya Hirano.
That would be kind of ironic. Like there are weird coincidences like that in the dubbing world, right?
Yeah, well, it's another big difference between American and Japanese voice acting is that it's a much bigger deal in Japan.
Right.
And also, if you want to be a voice actor, you have to be a singer and like a really good one,
Yeah.
because a lot of voice acting is almost like a jumping off point to be a musician or a singer,
Makes sense.
um, which creates some funny problems for karaoke scenes.
I I bet so.
Uh, are you familiar with what happened with the Yakuza 7 dub?
Oh, unfortunately, yes.
Okay, so in Yakuza games there's karaoke, right? And
Right.
the reason why there's a karaoke minigame is because our voice actors are singers
Right.
and they put on legit performances. So they kind of had to change the vibe of the karaoke minigame for the English dub. So it's not, oh, here's this voice actor, here's this professional singer singing. It's, hey, here's these like friends at a bar singing. I'm like,
Right.
okay, that's like, I mean, like in canon, that probably makes more
Like
sense.
that would probably be more true to life, to be honest. But like I get the
Yeah.
disconnect, and I'll tell you a random anecdote since we're like so out in left field anyway. We might as well have some fun with this, right?
Hell yeah.
One of the first animes I ever watched that I consciously knew was a Japanese anime, as opposed to like Speed Racer, where like Tatsunoko is kind of hard to tell if it was necessarily like anime style. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense to anyone but me, but that's how I saw it. While my friends onboarded with Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball, I got on with Ronin Warriors, which was samurai troopers in Japan. And the interesting thing about that is, even though it was a 90s dub, they didn't really change very much. Like, it's still very true to the original script. I think the biggest change was one of the samurai virtues was honorable suicide, and they had to change that for obvious cultural reasons. And it just got like a sequel anime last year. And they
Oh
kind of
god.
do this Symphogears thing where they'll go into battle singing, and it's not like they're playing an audio track over the action. It's actually in canon the new samurai troopers who are singing the song.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm like, that's interesting. Like, I wonder
Oh yeah.
how slash if they can even do that. Because Ronin Warriors is freely available. Like, you can buy the DVD box set right now. So,
Good to
uh,
know.
yep,
So the if I may extend the tangent just a little bit further,
by all
because
means.
I thought this was really funny. So have you played Yakuza 8?
I have not. I've played several
Okay.
Yakuza games. I haven't played that one yet.
Okay. So Yakuza 8 is really funny because it takes place in Hawaii.
Right,
Uh, so this runs into the so dubs have a big problem comes up when you're dubbing something when in the scene multiple characters are speaking different languages
right,
in canon.
right,
So so I actually went like, okay, when I'm playing, so the game is split into like a Hawaii map and a Japan map.
right.
So when I'm playing the game in the Japan map, I switch to the Japanese dub. And when I'm playing it on the Hawaii map where half the characters are speaking English, I switch it to that.
That's very clever,
'Cause-
actually.
well, because there's some scenes that don't work in certain dubs.
Right,
So there's a bilingual character who is like half Japanese, half American.
right.
And he goes he like attacks the protagonist to like mug him, and then he like flees to the American police officer saying like, "Oh, like please help me out. This like crazy tourist is attacking me." But in the Japanese dub, he's just speaking like Japanese to the American police officer who also is fluent in Japanese. But in the American dub, he is speaking in like a broken Japanese accent to like a fake broken Japanese accent to like it's so weird. Like the intent is completely different. It's so funny.
I have seen some really interesting ways to try to resolve that issue. Going back to my love ADV, they did Azumanga Daioh. And
Oh
there's
god.
supposed to be a bit where Yukari Sensei is talking in English, basically to like flex on everyone else. And so in the English dub, that doesn't make sense. So they have the actress just do the bit in Spanish instead, and it's every
Okay,
bit as
that makes
inexplicable.
sense.
Like it makes sense, right? It's kind of like a little bit of cultural osmosis there. There's a bit of a translation thing going on.
Persona Persona has that same issue.
Oh, really?
I forget if it was Persona 4, Persona 5. There's a scene where the characters are complaining that they have to study for English class
Right.
or like they're going to fail their English test. And if you're playing in the English dub, they are complaining about their English test in English.
I mean, that kind like I mean, you do take English classes in the English-speaking world, but like, yeah, it would
No,
be
but
like
like
less of a concern, right?
it's specifically English language.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
it's
actually
so funny.
oh, I'll give you a bragging moment from me if you allow.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
I follow the global Common Writer Twitter because I love
Oh,
Tokusatsu
hell yeah.
stuff, and there's a bit where they talk about Common Writer Hibiki, and like I love Hibiki. I think Hibiki was great, despite all its downsides, and it has them. I still think Hibiki was really great, and they talk about Hibiki's uh, super transformation, armed Hibiki, but they mixed it up and they called it armed Kurenai Hibiki. And I was like, his Crimson State was a different like side form that he could adapt to. Like you did the name wrong. And I had some Japan bros come and like my comment because I
So,
corrected the global Common Writer Twitter about Common Writer Hibiki.
dude, I love bad translations can be so funny. Are you familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh at all?
Oh yes, yes, I was very into that back when it first debuted.
Okay, there's so many bad translations, particularly in Spanish for some reason.
Really?
So, you're familiar with the Red Eyes Black Dragon, of course,
Oh,
right?
yes, of course.
So, some reprints of the card shorten the black to B, like
Okay.
just letter B, period. In the Spanish translation, they translate it as Red Eyes Blue Dragon,
Not
despite the card art
not quite right.
clearly depicting, despite the card art explicitly showing a black dragon.
Yeah, it's like okay, I do remember like the abbreviation because like the fused like Black Meteor Dragon, they had to put like B
Yeah.
Meteor Dragon, but I'm just like that is funny actually.
There's another issue where there was it was like I forget the name of the card, but the card's name was like Light Dragon.
Okay.
Um, and in the Portuguese translation, they translate it as like light as in lightweight, not as in like the attribute.
Whoops. Maybe the dragon's on a diet. You never know.
Yeah, he's losing weight,
Funny
man.
enough, Blizzard made a very similar mistake.
Oh, not surprisingly.
In May's ultimate attack, she's the English line is freeze, don't move.
Yeah,
Uh, but the Chinese word they chose for freeze is like to solidify. In like it's the wrong tense of freeze. Uh,
still
it's I think it's darn it, I can't remember now. I've
she's
been
saying like condensate or like lose temperature.
I think so. It had something because it's supposed to be a
So
play on
funny.
words in English, but like it doesn't work the same way because they basically flubbed the word for freeze in this context. I'll have to look
Yeah,
that one up because I have not played Overwatch and since they nerfed my boy Torbjorn. Uh,
I haven't played it since they just gutted Mercy.
uh, which
The
time?
first time, not every season.
I was like, which time, dude?
The first time, the one that mattered.
Ditaku and I used to play that like all the time, and when they got rid of the defense designation, everything started going downhill.
The fact that Overwatch is back because Overwatch 2 died is so
Yeah,
goddamn funny.
two died.
It's like, why?
They didn't deliver on anything they said they were going to,
Like,
and
what was
like
the game plan here?
yeah, it's like what did you guys think was going to happen? Is this like a new Coke experiment where you guys thought people would be grateful to have the original back?
Good God, the more I learn about this was like 5, 6 years ago, but the more I learn about like the internal Overwatch development and just like Blizzard in general. For context, the college I went to was like you could see Blizzard from like the rooftop.
Oh,
In
geez.
fact, like a Blizzard made a big point to like go to every game jam my college held,
All right.
to like try and sneak the talent. And when I was a student there, they had an esports community manager position open at Blizzard.
All right.
Boy, am I glad I did not take that because I because I would not want
You
to like
dodged a
placate the
bullet.
community.
You dodged like a million bullets there. You
I dodged the
Matrix
fucking move
stopped
too.
the bullets.
Yeah, and I remember my coding buddies who were also really big into Overwatch at the time. They all applied to like Blizzard jobs, and then they were really bummed out. And I said, "Hey, don't be so bummed out. Here's the Cosby room that the here's all the like the sexual like abuse allegations."
Oh,
And they're like, "Oh, never mind."
that's that is unfortunate.